Chapter 1751. At the same time, Tang Hai also looked at the ice sculpture. There was no reaction on the surface, but there was a trace of anger in the depths of his eyes. Gotcha! The cracks on the ice grew larger and larger. Boom! About 10 breaths passed. The ice finally shattered into pieces. After escaping, Mu Tianyang looked around in confusion, then immediately looked at Mu Qing and the other two, and asked, "Where's the ice dragon?" In his eyes, there was still a strong sense of fear. Mu Changfeng comforted him, "Father, don't worry, the ice dragon and small beast have already left." Already left? Mu Tianyang was taken aback. After a long while, he finally regained his senses, and his entire body almost weakened again. The dignified Mu Tianyang was actually scared to such an extent. "Aren't you afraid of being laughed at?" Tang Hai said abruptly. "Shut up." Mu Qing immediately shouted. Mu Changfeng and Mu Qing also glared at Tang Hai angrily. This voice, Mu Tianyang looked at Tang Hai suspiciously, and said in surprise, "Why are you here?" Then he looked at the scene in front of him again and said in surprise, "Why would Qin Feiyang fight with the people from the main pagoda?" Mu Qing and Mu Changfeng looked at each other. Mu Changyun said, "Father, you don't know anything?" Mu Tianyang shook his head and said, "After being frozen, I lost consciousness." So that's how it is. The three of them suddenly realized. Mu Changfeng said, "After you were frozen, many things happened." At this moment, the three of them explained in detail about Lu Jiajin's capture, as well as the battle between Qin Feiyang and the others and the main pagoda. Mu Tianyang frowned. Imperial advisor and Emperor Hong were also rescued? Yes. And I suspect that Zhao Tailai was also taken away by this person. However, we don't know who saved the Imperial advisor and Emperor Hong. Even Qin Feiyang doesn't know. Mu Qing said. Strange, on Great Qin's side, other than the Imperial Preceptor, Emperor Hong, and Zhuge Mingyang, who else is on the second level? Mu Tianyang frowned. Mu Changfeng said, "Lord Father, what about Wang Yuanshan and Marquis Wu Shenho? They are all inside Wang Su's spatial divine item." Mu Tianyang sneered, "Wang Su must have kidnapped Marquis Wushan for Wang Yuanshan." What do you mean? Mu Changfeng frowned. That's right. Wang Yuanshan is under my control. If the main pagoda wants to save him, they need to have a bargaining chip, and Marquis Wu Shenho is their bargaining chip. In other words, the main pagoda will use Marquis Wu Shenho to threaten me and remove my control over Wang Yuanshan. Therefore, there is no need to worry about Marquis Wu Shenho's safety for now. However, the fact that people from the main tower have come to attack us is somewhat out of my expectations. Fortunately, I was prepared in advance and gave the spatial divine item to Mu Qing. Otherwise, I'm afraid we would have been completely wiped out this time. Mu Tianyang shook his head and smiled bitterly. Mu Changfeng and Mu Changyun nodded. Ice Dragon, what is this beast's cultivation level? In just an instant, it actually crippled all of us. Thinking of the situation at that time, Mu Tianyang couldn't help but tremble. Mu Changfeng said, "Father, don't think about the past. The most important thing is to capture Li Jian and snatch Tang Hai's Qinkuan bag." Tang Hai frowned slightly when he heard this. "We must snatch the Qinkuan bag, but the people on the Imperial Preceptor's side shouldn't let us succeed so easily. After all, the sarcophagus that the demon ancestor wants is also in the Qinkuan bag. Let's wait for an opportunity." Mu Tianyang pondered for a moment, then raised his head to look at the battlefield on the screen and said, "Wait. Zhuge Mingyang has been killed, and the Imperial Preceptor and Emperor Hong's cultivation has been crippled. Even if they want to stop us, they can't. Master, I think we should take advantage of the fact that the Imperial Preceptor and Emperor Hong haven't repaired their Qi Cs and immediately make a move." Mu Qing said. "I know this is an opportunity, but the mysterious person who saved the Imperial Preceptor and Emperor Hong makes me a little uneasy. Moreover, haven't you noticed? Mu Tianyang's gaze turned, and suddenly looked at Tang Hai, and said, his qi is about to be repaired. Mu Qing and Mu Changfeng were shocked, and immediately looked at Tang Hai. Tang Hai's gaze also trembled slightly. Shua. The next moment, Mu Tianyang waved his hand, and a strand of divine sense flew out, directly entering Tang Hai's lower abdomen. The qi that had yet to be repaired shattered once again. Tang Hai spat out a mouthful of blood, staring at Mu Tianyang, his eyes flashing with an astonishing ferocious light. That's right. With the help of the cedar, his qi was about to be repaired. His original plan was to wait until his qi was repaired before immediately making a move on Mu Qing and Mu Changfeng. Mu Qing was only a war king. Mu Changfeng and Mu Changfeng had also consumed spirit sea pills, so the speed at which they repaired their qi could not keep up with the cedar. As long as he recovered his cultivation, taking down these three people would be easy. At that time, even if Mu Tianyang woke up, even if the blood blade was not sealed, he still had a bargaining chip in his hand to make Mu Tianyang hesitate. But what he did not expect was that Mu Tianyang actually broke out of the ice so quickly. What he did not expect was that Mu Tianyang saw through his condition at a glance and shattered his qi again. Now to repair his qi, it would take a lot of time. Mu Tianyang looked at Tang Hai and sneered, "You are quite smart, standing aside without saying anything, waiting for an opportunity, but we are not stupid." Hearing Mu Tianyang's words, Mu Qing and Mu Changfeng immediately lowered their heads in shame. This, they really did not expect. Their hearts were also filled with lingering fear. Fortunately, Mu Tianyang escaped in time. Otherwise, when Tang Hai's qi was repaired, the consequences would be unimaginable. Tang Hai remained silent. Looking at Qin Feiyang in the image, he muttered, "Young master, there's nothing I can do. I can only rely on you now." Mu Tianyang did not say anything else, and raised his head to look at Qin Feiyang. Suddenly, he turned to look at Mu Qing and the other two, and said, "Just now, you said that Qin Feiyang's ancient castle was sealed by a small beast?" "Yes." The three of them nodded. Mu Tianyang hurriedly took out the blood blade and sent his consciousness into it. Boom! A peerless sharpness immediately surged out. "Ha, the blood blade is not sealed." Mu Tianyang laughed loudly, looked at Qin Feiyang again, and said, "Chang Shui has been robbed, and the castle has been sealed. How are you going to fight with me in the future?" Outside, the various battlefields were extremely intense. Yu Huang and the chief pagoda master were locked in a fierce battle. As for the deputy pavilion master and Wang Su, although they had divine artifacts, facing the desperate attacks of Chui Li and the others, they were already riddled with scars. The golden divine leopard was even crazier, directly suppressing the aquiline-nosed old man. But the most exciting battle was still the battle between Qin Feiyang and the monkey-faced old man. At this moment, Qin Feiyang was completely in a state of enjoyment. All kinds of divine arts were evolved to the extreme by him. His fighting spirit, battle intent, and aura were becoming more and more terrifying. The monkey-faced old man was also intimidated by his aura, and seemed to be tiptoeing. Swish! But suddenly, a figure appeared in the void not far away. That's right. It was Mu Tianyang. Chapter 1752. Mu Tianyang. As soon as Mu Tianyang appeared, Chui Li and the others, as well as the chief pagoda master, all of their faces changed. Chui Li shouted, "Li Jian, the Qiankuan bag is on you, his target must be you, run." Li Jian nodded. Now was not the time to act on impulse. He immediately turned around and flew towards Qin Feiyang. Humph! Mu Tianyang gave a cold snort. Sure enough, he went straight for Li Jian. His speed was even faster than Li Jian's. Li Jian anxiously took out his Qinkuan bag and threw it towards Qin Feiyang. "Young master, catch it." However, Qin Feiyang turned a deaf ear to his words and fought with the monkey-faced old man. Young master. Li Jian roared and quickly chased after Qin Feiyang. He grabbed the Qiankuan pouch and looked at Qin Feiyang suspiciously. What was going on? Why did he ignore him? Hand it over. Mu Tianyang had already caught up. I won't give it to you even if I die. Li Jian turned back to look at Mu Tianyang, his gaze incomparably resolute. This Qiankuan bag was not only related to the future, but also the lives of Tang Hai and Zhao Tai Lai. Even if he died, he had to protect it. You want to die? I'll grant you your wish. Mu Tianyang's eyes flashed with killing intent as the blood blade appeared. It's not sealed. Li Jian's pupils constricted. Cui Li and the others also turned pale. This was not only a problem that Qin Feiyang was worried about, but also a problem that they were worried about. The blood blade was a heaven-defying artifact. The ancient castle was sealed and Chang Shui was stolen. This meant that they no longer had the ability to compete with the blood blade. Die. Mu Tianyang sneered and his body was filled with killing intent. The blood blade cut through the sky and attacked Li Jian. Li Jian gritted his teeth and kept the Qiankuan bag. He activated his fighting soul and attacked the blood blade. But the fighting soul was like a withered tree under the blood blade. Too terrifying. Li Jian couldn't help but feel despair when he sensed the destructive aura emitted by the blood blade. Li Jian, come to us quickly. Suddenly, an old voice echoed in Li Jian's mind. Li Jian's spirit was roused. He lowered his head and saw Yi Shu and the mysterious madam looking at him. However, he was somewhat hesitant. The two of them were completely devoid of any aura. Clearly, their chi seas had yet to recover. If they continued down, not only would they not be able to escape, they would even implicate the two of them. Wait a minute. Yi Shu was transmitting his voice to him. After losing his cultivation, he would not be able to transmit his voice. In other words, his cultivation base had been restored. Don't dawdle, hurry up. The mysterious lady thought. In that instant, blood blade arrived. That terrifying sharpness tore apart his clothes, leaving ghastly wounds on his body. Blood flowed freely. Li Jian quivered and hurriedly swooped down towards the two of them. Seeing this, with a thought, Mu Tianyang's blood blade stopped in midair. He looked at Yi Shu and the mysterious madam with a hint of bewilderment in his eyes. Why was Li Jian flying towards them? Could it be that their chi seas had been restored? However, if their chi seas had been restored, their bodies should also have aura. At the same time, the mysterious madam and Yi Shu also looked at Mu Tianyang with a sneer on their faces. Looking at their expressions, it seems that their chi sees, Mu Tianyang murmured. No. Suddenly, murderous intent surged in his eyes. If their chi seas had really been restored, they would have already made a move. But now, the two of them were just standing there without any intention of making a move. What did this mean? It meant that they did not dare to make a move. Not daring to make a move, it meant that their chi seas had not been restored. In other words, the two of them were just pretending to be calm to scare him. Not bad, they almost scared me. Thinking of this, Mu Tianyang smiled coldly. The blood blade turned in the air and charged towards the three of them with monstrous killing intent. They actually didn't fall for it. The mysterious madam sighed in a low voice. Yi Shu also shook his head with a look of regret. Don't you know who I am? Would I be so easily fooled? Mu Tianyang sneered. Li Jian had already rushed in front of the two of them. The mysterious madam stared at the blood blade and transmitted her voice. You must protect the Qiankuan bag. I know. Li Jian secretly said and retreated behind the two of them. The mysterious madam took a deep breath and transmitted her voice to Yi Shu again. I will hold back the blood blade. You go and crush his divine sense body for me. Okay. Yi Shu secretly replied. While they were talking, the blood blade had already attacked. Boom! The mysterious madam's aura suddenly erupted. Divine power surged out, forming a thick divine power shield that blocked in front of him. Boom! The blood blade blasted the shield, which instantly disintegrated. However, the blood blade was also blocked. Immediately after, the mysterious madam made a move again. Divine power roared in all directions, turning into thick iron chains that pierced through the air and firmly bound the blood blade. At the same time, Yi Shu also used teleportation, charging towards Mu Tianyang like lightning. The mysterious madam and Yi Shu's move made Mu Tianyang extremely shocked. Misjudgment? The two of them had already recovered their cultivation base. When he came back to his senses, the blood blade was already bound, and Yi Shu was already in front of him. Boom! Yi Shu punched out, his divine power pouring out like a waterfall. Mu Tianyang's divine sense body collapsed on the spot. The wisps of divine sense were constantly being obliterated by the divine power. In less than 3 breaths, Mu Tianyang had lost a few thousand wisps of divine sense. Even he couldn't bear such a loss. Bastard! Mu Tianyang roared in exasperation. His divine sense escaped into the void, and in an instant, he appeared thousands of miles away. You're sure you're difficult to deal with, but have you heard of the saying, cleverness overcomes cleverness? You think we're bluffing? But actually, we're tricking you into attacking. How was it? You should have lost a lot of divine sense just now, right? Yi Shu sneered. You're right. Cleverness overcomes cleverness. I admit that I underestimated you before, but if you think you can defeat me like this, then you're gravely mistaken. A heaven-defying artifact isn't something ants like you can touch. Mu Tianyang laughed heartily, his expression filled with contempt. With a thought, the blood blade began to tremble and emit an ear-piercing sound. The iron chain that bound the blood blade immediately began to crack. The mysterious lady tried her best, but she couldn't stop it. Crack! In an instant, the iron chain shattered. The freed blood blade was like a runaway horse, charging straight for the mysterious lady's forehead. The mysterious lady's expression changed. She tilted her head, and the blood blade brushed past her ear, leaving a bloody wound. A heaven-defying artifact is indeed extraordinary. The mysterious lady murmured. Even a war god would find it difficult to do anything against a heaven-defying artifact. Whoosh! The blood blade missed its target, then suddenly turned around and attacked Li Jian, who was behind the mysterious lady. Li Jian's face was pale. At the critical moment, the mysterious madam grabbed Li Jian and disappeared without a trace. Obviously, she also had a space artifact. Congratulations to the two of you, you've completely angered me. Seeing Li Jian being sent away, Mu Tianyang was furious. The mysterious lady's eyes flashed with killing intent and shouted, "If you dare to attack again, I'll let Li Jian destroy Mu Tianjuan's divine body." You, Mu Tianyang glared at her. Don't think that I don't dare. The mysterious lady said. Mu Tianyang was furious and roared, "Blood blade, wake up on your own and help me kill her and break her space artifact." However, the blood blade didn't wake up on its own. Don't you understand these heaven-defying artifacts? Unless your life is in danger, how can it wake up on its own? Besides, this is the second level of the miracle. Maybe Small Beast and Ice Dragon are still watching us from somewhere. The mysterious lady sneered. Small Beast, Ice Dragon, Mu Tianyang's eyes trembled as he looked around in shock. Don't say. There was really such a possibility. After thinking about it again and again, Mu Tianyang finally chose to endure. If Small Beast and Ice Dragon were really hiding somewhere, maybe the blood blade would be sealed by Small Beast just like the castle. At that time, the loss would outweigh the gain. With a slight thought, the blood blade immediately turned into a bloody light, streaking across the sky and disappearing into his divine sense body. The mysterious lady smiled and said, "That's right. It's easy for us to get along like this." Humph. Mu Tianyang snorted and looked up at Qin Feiyang suspiciously. What's wrong with this guy? Why did he ignore Li Jian's request for help? What was even more strange was that this bastard kid was smiling more and more brightly. Swish. Yi Shu flashed and landed in front of the mysterious lady, laughing in a low voice. He's completely immersed in the battle. Yes. I have a hunch that this battle will let him be reborn again. The mysterious lady smiled. Yi Shu smiled and transmitted his voice. Madam, when are you going to reveal your identity to him? The mysterious lady was stunned and frowned. Is that necessary? Of course. At least let him know about your relationship with him, lest he always suspects that you have ulterior motives. Yi Shu thought to himself. The mysterious lady sighed. To be honest, I really don't know how to tell him after hiding it from him for so long. Yi Shu smiled. Madam, I think it's not that you don't know how to tell him, but that you're worried that he won't accept you. After all, you and the Qin Emperor weren't together so openly back then. You old man. The mysterious lady rolled her eyes at Yi Shu and looked up at Qin Feiyang with a complicated expression. A moment later, the mysterious lady retracted her gaze and turned to look at the Chief Tower Master and the others, her eyes flashing with cold light. Seeing this, Yi Shu transmitted his voice. Madam, are we going to attack them? The mysterious lady snorted. It's time to settle the old scores with them. Go and cripple them. Yes. Yi Shu responded respectfully, and immediately teleported away, disappearing from sight. What's going on? Noticing this, Mu Tianyang looked at the mysterious lady suspiciously, then turned to look at Yi Shu. When he realized that Yi Shu was actually going for the Chief Tower Master, Mu Tianyang's expression turned cold, and he said gloomily, "If I don't move, you'd better not move either." The mysterious lady looked at Mu Tianyang and said in a low voice, "This is a personal grudge between me and the Chief Tower Master. You'd better stay out of it." Personal grudge. Chapter 1753. Thinking of this, Mu Tianyang did not stop Yi Shu. Because he had always been very curious about the mysterious madam's identity. Whoosh! Yi Shu was too fast. It was almost impossible for false gods to track him down. Yu Huang and the Chief Tower Master were fighting happily. But suddenly, Yi Shu arrived and attacked without saying a word. There was no suspense. The Chief Tower Master's Sea of Qi was destroyed on the spot. After losing his cultivation, his whole body immediately fell to the ground below. The halberd in his hand also flew out and sank into the ground in the distance. Yu Huang was stunned. He glared at Yi Shu and said with dissatisfaction, "Old man, what are you doing? He's my opponent. Sorry to interrupt your fun, but the current situation is not good for us, so we have to end this quickly." Yi Shu said apologetically. With a wave of his old hand, the halberd that sank into the ground suddenly broke out of the ground. He grabbed it in his hand, directly erased the blood contract inside, and put it away. Then, he rushed toward the murderous Vice Tower Master and Wang Su. Seeing this, Wang Su and the former Vice Tower Master's eyes darkened. They split Cui Li and the 6 elders with their swords and rushed toward each other like lightning. Cui Li shouted, "Stop them, they want to enter the space divine artifact." 3 of the elders immediately caught up with the former Vice Tower Master, and stopped him at all costs. Damn it! Wang Su roared and decisively entered the space divine artifact first. Whoosh! Yi Shu did not care about him and directly rushed toward the former Vice Tower Master. There was no suspense. The former Vice Tower Master's aura was also destroyed on the spot. As for his divine artifact, it was also taken away by Yi Shu. Yu Huang immediately said with dissatisfaction, "Old man, you're too dishonest. We've been fighting for so long, and you took away 2 divine artifacts at once? Hee hee. Yi Shu smiled, grabbed the Vice Tower Master, and rushed in front of the Chief Tower Master. The Chief Tower Master roared, "You damn traitor, I was really blind to have trusted you so much." Traitor? This old man has never betrayed anyone. It's the same in the past, and it's the same now. Yi Shu snorted coldly. With one hand holding the former Vice Pavilion Master and the Chief Tower Master in the other, he flew into the air and landed in front of the mysterious lady. Well done. The mysterious lady smiled. Yi Shu sighed. It's a pity that Wang Su escaped. Don't worry. He'll take the initiative to come out later. The mysterious lady waved her hand. Yi Shu nodded and threw the Chief Tower Master and the former Vice Tower Master in front of the mysterious lady. The Chief Tower Master glanced at the mysterious madam, then turned to Yi Shu and roared, "She is an enemy of our Chief Tower. Not only did you not kill her, but you followed her like a dog. And you dare say you are not a traitor? How dare you?" Yi Shu was furious. Do you know who she is? If we're talking about a traitor, it should be you. What do you mean? The Chief Pagoda Master said in a deep voice. You know very well what I mean. Yi Shu sneered. The Chief Tower Master had a suspicious look on his face. The mysterious madam glanced at the Chief Pagoda Master and said, Yi Shu, go help Shen Bao. What about Qin Feiyang? Yi Shu asked. Him? He doesn't need our help anymore. The mysterious madam smiled, her expression full of confidence. Yi Shu nodded, looked at the golden divine leopard and the old man with a hawk nose, and was about to rush forward. No need. Stay here, or I'll beat you up too. But at this moment, the golden divine leopard shouted. Yi Shu was stunned and turned to look at the mysterious madam. It's us who are nosy. The mysterious madam smiled helplessly and said lightly, let it be. Yi Shu also shook his head bitterly. In the past, it was usually others who asked him for help. But now, he took the initiative to help, and the golden divine leopard was not happy? How heartbreaking. However, judging from the current situation, his help was indeed not needed. Because the battle between the golden divine leopard and the old man with a hawk nose was about to end. The golden divine leopard's divine shield had not reached its time limit. In other words, after it broke through to the war god level, it had been using the divine shield. Therefore, during this fierce battle, the old man with a hawk nose did his best but did not cause any damage to it. Instead, it was the old man with a hawk nose who was heavily injured. Until now, his body was already dripping with blood, and his upper body had 3 fist-sized bloody holes. He even lost an arm. Before the golden divine leopard broke through to the war god level, the old man with a hawk nose could not do anything to it, let alone now. Bang bang bang. Boom. After another bloody battle, the golden divine leopard's claw landed on the old man's lower abdomen. The terrifying divine power was earth-shattering. Accompanied by a shrill scream, the old man's lower abdomen was directly pierced by the golden divine leopard's claw. Immediately, the old man with a hawk nose was like a kite with a broken string, smashing into the ground below. Powerful. With the divine shield activated, there shouldn't be many people in the same realm who can fight it. The mysterious madam murmured. Old bastard, how dare you provoke us, you're simply courting death. Today is your end. The golden divine leopard cackled, its expression full of disdain. It turned into a golden divine light and swooped down with monstrous ferocity towards the old man with a hawk nose. The mysterious madam came back to her senses and hurriedly shouted, Junior Leopard, don't kill him. What do you mean? The golden divine leopard was stunned. Mu Tianyang, the chief tower master, the former deputy tower master, Cui Li, and the others were also stunned. Even the old man with a hawk nose looked at the mysterious madam in shock. Weren't they enemies? Why was she pleading for him? You think I won't kill him just because you said so? The golden divine leopard snorted and continued to attack the old man with a hawk nose. Yi Shu! The mysterious madam shouted. Yi Shu took a step forward and instantly stood in front of the old man. He looked up at the ferocious golden divine leopard and cupped his hands. Can you give us some face? His attitude was very sincere. The golden divine leopard raised its eyebrows and looked at the mysterious madam. It said angrily, "What do you mean by this? You'll understand in the future." The mysterious madam said. The golden divine leopard was quite annoyed. It glanced at the mysterious madam, Yi Shu, and the old man with a hawk nose for a moment and snorted. It's not up to you or me to decide whether to kill him or not. It's up to the young master. If the young master says to let him go, I will let him go. Okay. We'll wait for Qin Feiyang to make the decision. The mysterious madam nodded and then looked at Yi Shu. Take his Qinkuan bag and bring him here. Yes. Yi Shu nodded and bent down to grab the old man's Qinkuan bag. Then, he dragged the old man back to the mysterious madam. Why? The old man with a hawk nose looked at the mysterious madam and asked. The mysterious madam said expressionlessly, "Before I say anything, you'd better not ask again." The old man with a hawk nose frowned and looked at the chief tower master and the former deputy tower master. He then looked up at the monkey-faced old man and murmured, "If even you are defeated by Qin Feiyang, then we'll really be wiped out. We can't lose. He won't be able to win." The mysterious madam sneered and said to herself, "Yi Shu, release your divine sense and watch carefully. Don't let Wang Su and Mu Tianyang's accomplices come out to stir up trouble." Okay. Yi Shu nodded. His divine sense spread out and covered tens of thousands of miles. In this tens of thousands of miles, he found that there were 3 divine space items. Apart from Mu Tianyang and Wang Su, who do the other divine space items belong to? He raised his eyebrows slightly. The extra divine space item must belong to the person who saved the state preceptor and Emperor Hong. But he really couldn't figure out the identity of this person. Boom! High up in the sky. Seeing the chief tower master, the former deputy tower master, and the old man with a hawk nose being captured one after another, the monkey-faced old man couldn't help but panic. But his attacks were getting fiercer and fiercer. Because he also knew that there was only one way out of the predicament of the chief tower. And that was to capture Qin Feiyang. As long as he captured Qin Feiyang, not only could he open up the situation, but he could also turn the tables. Boom! Crack! With a wave of his hand, a divine art appeared out of nowhere, carrying a destructive aura as it blasted toward Qin Feiyang. Roar! Qin Feiyang also evolved the 3 moves of the divine dragon art, which collided with the monkey-faced old man's divine art. Puff! Purple gold dragon blood dyed the sky. But in this regard, Qin Feiyang didn't react at all, as if he had lost consciousness, and smiled incomparably brightly. Keep smiling, what the hell are you smiling about? The monkey-faced old man was furious. As a dignified war god, he couldn't take down a false god, which already made him extremely angry, but Qin Feiyang still kept smiling, as if mocking his incompetence. So, every time he saw the smile on Qin Feiyang's face, he couldn't help but go crazy. But Qin Feiyang turned a deaf ear as usual. The 3 moves of the returning ruins, the sun and moon eclipse, the fire phoenix art, the divine dragon art, and the 3,000 incarnations were constantly evolving, and the divine power shrouded the world. From afar, it was like a meteor, endlessly attacking the monkey-faced old man. The monkey-faced old man's methods were also very astonishing. No matter how many divine arts Qin Feiyang evolved, they were all shattered one by one. The situation was getting more and more tense. Such a situation made the monkey-faced old man, who was eager to win, more and more irritated. On the other hand, Qin Feiyang's expression was indifferent, and his eyes were also calm. He was completely immersed in the battle. Now, not only did he no longer hate fighting, but he also liked fighting. Fighting made him feel very happy. And as time passed, everyone slowly discovered that the speed at which Qin Feiyang evolved the divine art seemed to be faster than before. Moreover, the power of the divine art was also gradually increasing. Is it an illusion? The monkey-faced old man also gradually discovered this point. After fighting for so long, suffering such heavy injuries, and losing so much blood, shouldn't he be getting weaker and weaker? It must be an illusion. Clang! Suddenly, red sword chi emerged from Qin Feiyang's body, turning into sword shadows that slashed towards the monkey-faced old man. Each sword shadow was hundreds of feet long, and its sharpness could topple mountains and overturn seas. Guiyuan sword technique. Battle art? But the monkey-faced old man frowned. With his cultivation and eyesight, he could see at a glance that these sword shadows were only evolved from battle art. He actually changed to battle art? Looking down on him? Too much. It was really too much. The anger in his heart was uncontrollable. Genius remembered the address of this site in 1 second. Mobile version of reading website. Chapter 1754. Using a battle art to deal with a god of war like him, wasn't it obvious that he was humiliating him? The monkey-faced old man furiously attacked. Divine power roared in all directions, destroying heaven and earth. Clang! 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 The sword shadows continued to shatter, turning into pieces of pure false god power that drifted in the void and dissipated. However, Qin Feiyang still didn't use a divine art. The Guiyuan sword art once again evolved. After stepping into the false god realm, Qin Feiyang could already evolve 60 sword shadows, covering the sky and earth as they attacked the monkey-faced old man. You're still using a battle art, this is outrageous. The monkey-faced old man flew into a rage. Divine power was like a tide, drowning the sky. No matter how many sword shadows there were, they couldn't stop the bombardment of divine power. The sword shadows shattered one after another. But at the same time, one sword shadow after another evolved. Moreover, the evolution speed was getting faster and faster. Even Cui Li and the others who were also false gods gradually couldn't catch Qin Feiyang's movements. At this moment, Qin Feiyang gave people a feeling of ethereal. His eyes were so calm that it was frightening. Boom! Another sword shadow appeared out of nowhere. However, the power emitted by this sword shadow had suddenly increased by a level. Shockingly, it carried a shocking divine might. How could this be? The monkey-faced old man was dumbfounded. This is, at the same time. The chief pagoda master and the others also widened their eyes in anger. He actually upgraded the level of his battle art during the battle. In other words, he upgraded the Guiyuan sword art to a divine art. I see. Mu Tianyang muttered. Previously, he was wondering why Qin Feiyang turned a deaf ear to Li Jian's request. It turned out that he had entered an ethereal state. In this ethereal state, it was equivalent to sealing oneself and not being able to hear anything from the outside world. And now, his battle with the monkey-faced old man was completely subconscious. In other words, he wasn't really fighting with the monkey-faced old man. You actually used me to upgrade the level of your battle art, how hateful. The monkey-faced old man came back to his senses and immediately became angry. He stepped forward, divine power gushing out from his palm, and the sword shadows were all shattered into pieces. When he got close to Qin Feiyang, he immediately raised his arm and punched towards Qin Feiyang's forehead. However, Qin Feiyang didn't panic and was as calm as ever. He took a step forward, and instantly disappeared in front of the monkey-faced old man. Art. Right now, he's probably already forgotten that there's such an opponent. Everything is just an instinctive reaction. The mysterious Lady Merce, of course, of course. Enjoy the battle, fight non-stop, sublimate and transform in the midst of battle. What other surprises can it bring us? Yeses with of Yesestes. The moment Qin Fei Yang disappeared, the monkey-faced old man immediately released his divine sense and caught Qin Fei Yang's trace in the void behind him. He roared again and again. He couldn't take down a mere false god. This kind of humiliation almost made him lose his mind. Boom! But Qin Fei Yang remained silent and performed the 4 moves of the ruins of End. An invisible force roared in the void. Another shocking scene appeared. The power of the 4 moves of the ruins of End also increased by a level. Not bad, not bad. First, it was the Guiyuan sword art, and now it's the ruins of End. This kid's combat strength has increased by several levels. The mysterious lady laughed. Yi Shu smiled. Madam, you were the one who gave him the ruins of End, right? Yes. I really didn't expect him to be able to improve the ruins of End to such a level. The mysterious lady sighed. When she first gave the ruins of End to Qin Fei Yang, it was only a perfect battle art. The ruins of End had undergone 2 transformations. The first time, it evolved into a divine art. This time, it was another level above the foundation of the divine art. The power of the ruins of End was no longer the same as before. Boom! The evolved ruins of End carried a monstrous aura as it pounced towards the monkey-faced old man. Don't be too arrogant. The monkey-faced old man roared. The divine art appeared and attacked. After all, he was a war god. How could the ruins of End be blocked by the ruins of End? The invisible force immediately disintegrated. Qin Fei Yang also spat out a mouthful of blood. But with the battle art protecting his body, he didn't suffer any fatal injuries. Boom! He didn't stop and evolved the 2 divine arts, Sun and Moon Eclipse and Fire Phoenix art. Whether it was Sun and Moon Eclipse or Fire Phoenix art, their power increased by a level. The power emitted by Fire Phoenix art was even comparable to Lu Jiajin's Fire Phoenix art. Is he going to evolve all the deity techniques? This time. Even the mysterious lady couldn't calm down. Usually, people who entered this ethereal state would at most evolve 1 or 2 divine arts before it would end. But this kid first evolved the Guiyuan sword art to a divine art, and now he continuously upgraded the ruins of End, Sun and Moon Eclipse, and Fire Phoenix art by a level. What was even more excessive was that looking at his current state, after upgrading the Fire Phoenix art, he still hadn't reached the end. In other words, he might continue to do so. As expected, Qin Fei Yang evolved the Divine Dragon art again. Divine Dragon Seal, and the 3rd move, Supreme of the 9 and 5, appeared one after another. Dragon might rolled in all directions, causing the void to tremble. Roar. Rumble. The aura of the 3 divine arts soared crazily. Everyone was dumbfounded by what they saw. Qin Fei Yang had used the divine dragon art more than once or twice. Everyone knew its power. And now, the divine dragon seal, divine dragon roar, and supreme of the 9 and 5 had far surpassed the past. Boom! Suddenly, the aura of the 3 divine arts soared to an unprecedented level. Even the monkey-faced old man couldn't help but tremble at this moment. At the same time, a stone door gradually condensed in Qin Fei Yang's sea of consciousness. The stone door was very small, floating beside the soul, emitting a hazy purple-gold divine light. This was the 4th move of the divine dragon art, the Gate of Rebirth. After the Gate of Reincarnation appeared, a statue of a deity also appeared. The 3rd move, Supreme of the 9 and 5. Next, another purple-gold divine dragon and a divine seal condensed in the sea of consciousness one after another. It was the 2nd and 1st move of the divine dragon art. These were the forms of the 4 divine arts. They surrounded Qin Fei Yang's soul, emitting a vast aura. Outside, divine dragon seal, divine dragon roar, and supreme of the 9 and 5 had already rushed towards the monkey-faced old man. The divine power of the 3 divine arts shook the world, causing the void to crack. What? The void shattered. This is something that only a war god can do. How can he do it? The chief pagoda master and the others were bewildered. Mu Tianyang's pupils also shrank, and said in a deep voice, "There's only one explanation." What? Everyone looked at him in surprise. Perfect divine art. Mu Tianyang said word by word. Perfect divine art? Everyone became more and more suspicious. That's right. Perfect divine art. Divine arts are the same as battle arts. They are divided into low, middle, high, and perfect. The power of a perfect divine art is enough to shatter the void. Mu Tianyang said. In that case, the divine dragon art was only a high-tier divine art in the past? The chief pagoda master said. Wrong. When Qin Badian created the divine dragon art, it was only a low-tier divine art. Later, he raised the level of the divine dragon art again and again. When he disappeared, the divine dragon art had already been raised to the level of a high-tier divine art. Therefore, when Qin Feiyang obtained the inheritance of the divine dragon art, it was naturally a high-tier divine art. Now, Qin Feiyang raised the divine dragon art to another level, so it evolved into a perfect divine art. Mu Tianyang said. So that's how it is. It's unbelievable. Not only did he create such a terrifying divine art, but he also raised the divine dragon art to a high-tier divine art. If the Qin Emperor was still alive, it's hard to imagine how powerful the divine dragon art would be now. I'm afraid it would have already evolved to the level of a perfect divine art. Cui Li sighed. Mu Tianyang said, that's for sure. Suddenly. A painful scream sounded in the sky. Everyone looked up and saw that the monkey-faced old man was seriously injured by the three divine arts. His body was almost torn apart. Divine blood dyed the sky red. This was the first time he had been seriously injured since he fought with Qin Feiyang. If this continues, Qin Feiyang will probably turn the tables. The chief pagoda master murmured, his expression full of worry. But just when everyone thought that Qin Feiyang would take advantage of the victory to pursue, Qin Feiyang suddenly closed his eyes. What's going on? Everyone was surprised. He should have awakened from the ethereal state. Mu Tianyang said. However, before he could finish speaking, numerous figures appeared behind Qin Feiyang one after another. These people looked exactly the same as Qin Feiyang. It was the 3,000 incarnations. He actually took this opportunity to comprehend the profound meaning of the 3,000 incarnations. Mu Tianyang's eyes trembled. Not long after, 100 incarnations appeared. But it did not stop. 101, 102, 103. The incarnations continued to increase. Soon, there were as many as 200 incarnations behind Qin Feiyang. No. I can't let him continue to grow like this, otherwise, when I return to the great Qin Empire, even if I fuse with the divine body and my cultivation returns to its peak state, I'm afraid it will be difficult to take him down, Mu Tianyang murmured. Little bastard, go to hell. But just as Mu Tianyang was about to make a move, the monkey-faced old man suddenly roared, his entire body overflowing with hostility. Clang! With a wave of his hand, a snow-white longbow appeared. It was as flawless as jade and emitted a dazzling light. Divine weapon. Mu Tianyang's eyes flashed. It seemed that he did not need to make a move. However, the mysterious lady's expression changed. She did not expect that this person was actually hiding a divine weapon on him. Cui Li glanced at Mu Tianyang and transmitted his voice to the mysterious lady, "Don't worry, young master also has a divine weapon on him." The mysterious lady said to herself, "I know that he definitely has a divine weapon, but that divine bow is not an ordinary divine weapon." So what? Not a single divine artifact on the young master's body is ordinary. As long as it's not a heaven-defying divine weapon, it won't be able to hurt young master. The only person we have to be careful of is Mu Tianyang. Right now, only he can hurt young master. Chui Li said to himself. The mysterious lady looked at Chui Li suspiciously and then looked up at Qin Feiyang. The worry in her heart did not dissipate. Chapter 1755. Clang. While Chui Li and the mysterious lady were talking, the monkey-faced old man had already awakened the godly Bao. He pulled the bowstring and condensed his divine power into an arrow. It was dazzling and sharp, producing a deafening metallic sound. At the same time, the number of avatars behind Qin Feiyang had reached 300. And it was still increasing. Little bastard, go to hell. The monkey-faced old man roared as the arrow pierced through the air. Wherever it went, the void collapsed crazily. This was the true awakening of a godly weapon. If Qin Feiyang was hurt by this arrow, he would definitely die. Clang. However, just as Qin Feiyang's life was in danger, the divine phoenix blade awakened on its own with an earth-shaking explosion. It floated above Qin Feiyang's head, releasing endless flames. Chirp. Following closely. With a loud phoenix cry, a godly phoenix rushed out of the flames and headed straight for the arrow, automatically protecting its owner. This godly weapon must have a weapon spirit. The mysterious lady murmured. No wonder Chui Li was so confident. The divine phoenix blade was so terrifying. Before, Qin Feiyang had used the divine phoenix blade to fight the monkey-faced old man, so she knew about the existence of the divine phoenix blade. But because Qin Feiyang could not fully awaken the divine phoenix blade, she did not know that the divine phoenix blade had a weapon spirit. Boom! In an instant, the godly phoenix and the arrow violently collided. Both of them were destroyed in the void. It was obvious that the godly Bao in the monkey-faced old man's hand was of the same level as the divine phoenix blade. Both of them had a weapon spirit. Damn it, why is this happening? If I knew this would happen, I would have used the godly Bao from the beginning. The monkey-faced old man roared in exasperation. Even if you used the godly Bao from the beginning, it would not have made much of a difference. Because as long as the young master's life is threatened, the divine phoenix blade will awaken on its own. In short, you will never be able to kill the young master. Chui Li sneered. Shut up. The monkey-faced old man roared as he frantically pulled the godly Bao. Arrow after arrow flew towards Qin Feiyang, but they were all blocked by the divine phoenix blade. At this very moment, the number of incarnations behind Qin Feiyang had reached 500. If nothing went wrong, he would be able to raise the 3,000 incarnations to the lesser success stage. Once he reaches the minor completion stage, he will be able to create 1,000 clones. At that time, he will have the ability to kill an initial stage battle god. After all, the divine dragon technique had evolved into a perfect divine technique. However, at this moment, Mu Tianyang suddenly attacked. His blood blade streaked across the sky like a bolt of lightning, slashing towards Qin Feiyang. Mu Tianyang, what are you doing? The mysterious lady was immediately enraged. However, Mu Tianyang turned a deaf ear to him, and his eyes emitted a bone-piercing coldness. Facing the blood blade, the divine phoenix blade did not hesitate at all and directly entered Qin Feiyang's body. It wasn't that it wasn't loyal, but it knew its place. This was because the blood blade was a heaven-defying divine artifact. Even if it sacrificed itself to block it, it still wouldn't be able to block it. This time, Qin Feiyang was facing the risk of being killed by the blood blade head-on. Seeing that Mu Tianyang had no intention of stopping, the mysterious lady's eyes flashed with a cold light, and shouted, Li Jian, destroy Mu Tianjuan's divine body for me. Mu Tianyang's body trembled slightly. But in the end, he still chose to continue killing Qin Feiyang. Because in his opinion, Qin Feiyang's threat was already far greater than Mu Tianjuan's divine body. The blood blade arrived in an instant. Just as Qin Feiyang was about to be killed by the blood blade. Suddenly, Qin Feiyang opened his eyes, and 2 rays of divine light shot out. following closely. He took a step forward and instantly appeared on the other side of the void. Then, he lowered his head and looked at Mu Tianyang, and said angrily, "You really make people angry. Is that so?" Mu Tianyang chuckled, the blood blade cut through the sky and returned to his side, laughing, "Although it's a pity that I couldn't kill you, but to be able to interrupt your ethereal state, it's not in vain." Because he knew very well in his heart that killing Qin Feiyang was not that easy. Therefore, from the beginning, his plan was to interrupt Qin Feiyang's ethereal state and prevent Qin Feiyang from continuing to become stronger. Qin Feiyang coldly glanced at Mu Tianyang, then raised his head to look at the monkey-faced old man, and said, "Although you made me bleed a lot, I still have to thank you." The monkey-faced old man's face was gloomy. Qin Feiyang laughed, "Tell me, how should I repay you?" The mysterious lady glanced at the monkey-faced old man, then looked at Qin Feiyang and said, "Feiyang, let's stop here." "Stop here?" Qin Feiyang lowered his head to look at the mysterious lady, and sneered, "Do you think that's possible?" Clang! As soon as the words fell, the divine phoenix blade appeared, and 3 types of false god force madly rushed into it. Qin Feiyang grabbed the divine phoenix blade and used the walk word technique, charging towards the monkey-faced old man. Yi Shu secretly said, "Madam, this brat already has the intention to kill, what should we do?" The mysterious lady sighed helplessly, "Let him calm down first, then we'll stop him later." Boom! The monkey-faced old man immediately recovered his divine bow, and continuously pulled the bowstring. One arrow after another pierced through the air, densely packed, terrifying sharpness tearing the sky and splitting the earth. But Qin Feiyang's expression did not change. Using the walk word technique to the extreme, he was like a ghost, shuttling back and forth between the rain of arrows, completely unable to catch his figure. Shwa! Finally, he landed behind the monkey-faced old man, and the divine phoenix blade slashed out. With the edge on his back, the monkey-faced old man quivered and immediately teleported away. Humph! Qin Feiyang coldly snorted, divine light surged under his feet as he followed closely behind. Die! The monkey-faced old man suddenly turned around and used the divine bow in his hand as a stick, smashing towards Qin Feiyang's head. A large part of the void collapsed. Such an unexpected attack, if it were anyone else, they would definitely not be able to react in time. However, Qin Feiyang did not panic at all, calmly raising the divine phoenix blade and slashing at the divine bow. Clang! The 2 divine weapons met in an instant, and sparks burst out. Qin Feiyang was immediately sent flying, blood flowing from the corner of his mouth. After all, the monkey-faced old man was a war god, how could Qin Feiyang's strength compare to his? But at the same time, Qin Feiyang waved his hand, and the divine dragon seal appeared in an instant, shattering the void and smashing into the monkey-faced old man's chest. Puff! The monkey-faced old man suddenly spat out a mouthful of old blood, his entire chest caved in, and his flesh and blood were a mess. Even his 5 internal organs were destroyed. This was the second time he was seriously injured. Did you see that? When he used the divine dragon seal just now, he didn't even move at all. Yu Huang said in surprise. After being together for so long, it naturally understood the divine dragon seal very well. Before evolving the divine dragon seal, it needed to form a seal. But just now, Qin Feiyang did not form a seal at all. It was just at his fingertips. This is the perfect divine art. When the divine art evolves to the perfect level, it will condense into the form of the divine art in the sea of consciousness. Once the form is formed, when you use the divine art in the future, you don't need to form a seal anymore, you only need to use your mind. Mu Tianyang said. So that's how it is. Yu Huang nodded in realization. Little bastard, you have completely angered me. The monkey-faced old man roared, and the divine bow shone brightly, a wave of arrows broke through the sky, like a meteor shower, occupying half of the sky, madly shooting toward Qin Feiyang. So what if I angered you? Moreover, weren't you angry long ago? Qin Feiyang sneered. 500 incarnations appeared. Divine Dragon Seal. As the 500 incarnations snorted coldly in unison, 500 divine seals appeared, carrying the power to destroy heaven and earth, and blasted toward the arrows. Clang! In an instant, the divine seals shattered. The arrows were defeated. Waves of destructive air blasts surged in all directions with an earth-shattering momentum. Tens of thousands of miles of the void turned into chaos. Boom! More than 10 breaths later, the arrows were all defeated, and the 2 divine seals aggressively blasted on the monkey-faced old man. Immediately, the monkey-faced old man's scream resounded through the sky. His whole body was blasted away, like a meteorite, smashing into the ground below. A huge pit suddenly appeared. What you did to me before, now I will pay you back 10 times, 100 times. Qin Feiyang's body was surrounded by a substantial murderous aura, and the 500 incarnations once again evolved into 500 divine dragon seals, blasting into the huge pit. Rumble. The earth crazily cracked, and ditches appeared everywhere. The monkey-faced old man's scream was endless, and dust covered the sky. Too terrifying. Even the war god is in his hands, and now he can't fight back. Looking at the current Qin Feiyang, the chief pagoda master and the others couldn't help but feel despair. Yishu worriedly sent a sound transmission. "Madam, if this continues, I'm afraid he will die in the hands of Qin Feiyang." The mysterious madam frowned, took a step forward, and landed beside Qin Feiyang, and said, "Calm down." "What do you mean?" Qin Feiyang raised his eyebrows. The mysterious madam said, "What I mean is, if you're not angry, then stop." Qin Feiyang said angrily, "He is our enemy, and you actually want me to stop? What the hell are you thinking? Although we are enemies now, the future is hard to say." The mysterious madam said. "The future is hard to say?" Qin Feiyang frowned, and said, "Speak clearly." The mysterious madam was silent, as if she didn't know how to speak. "Let me say it," Yishu suddenly said. Qin Feiyang lowered his head and looked at Yishu. Mu Tianyang, the chief pagoda master, and the others, as well as Yu Huang and Shui Li, all looked at Yishu, their faces full of suspicion. "Qin Feiyang, you bastard," but at this time, the monkey-faced old man's angry roar sounded again. He rushed out with a murderous aura, like a man of blood, his old eyes full of resentment. "You're courting death." Qin Feiyang used the walk formula, instantly landed behind the monkey-faced old man, and slashed. Accompanied by a scream, the monkey-faced old man's right arm broke on the spot, and blood spurted out like a fountain. The divine bow also flew out of his hand. Qin Feiyang grabbed the divine bow, sent it to the castle, and then waved the divine phoenix blade again, mercilessly slashing at the monkey-faced old man's head. Swish! However, the mysterious madam suddenly teleported to Qin Feiyang's side, grabbed Qin Feiyang's wrist, and then shook her head at Qin Feiyang. Qin Feiyang glanced at the mysterious madam angrily. "Hee, little bastard, go to hell." But at the same time, the monkey-faced old man smiled ferociously, and his divine power rolled out, bearing fangs and brandishing claws at Qin Feiyang. "You're not done yet, are you?" The mysterious madam raised her eyebrows, raised her hand, and slapped the monkey-faced old man's face. Poof! The monkey-faced old man was sent flying on the spot, the skin on his face split open, and he was in an extremely sorry state. Genius memorized this site's address in a second. Mobile version of reading website. Chapter 1756. The monkey-faced old man stabilized his body, touched his bleeding face, and suddenly looked up at the mysterious madam and laughed. "Bitch, you want to die too, right? This old man will fulfill your wish. Shut your dog mouth. Do you know who she is? Let me tell you, if you dare to humiliate the madam again, even I won't let you go." Yishu shouted. The monkey-faced old man immediately looked down at Yishu and roared, "You traitor, what right do you have to yell at this old man? This old man has said before, this old man has never betrayed the main tower." Yi Shu said in a deep voice. "You helped her against the people of our main tower, isn't that betrayal?" The monkey-faced old man shouted. "You'll understand in a moment. For now, shut your mouth," Yi Shu coldly shouted. He glanced at the mysterious madam, then glanced at Mu Tianyang, chief tower master, and the others. Finally, he looked at Qin Feiyang and said, "Haven't you always been curious about the madam's identity? Now I'll tell you, the madam is the previous master of the main tower." "What?" Qin Feiyang's eyes trembled. The main tower master, the former deputy tower master, the monkey-faced old man, and the aquiline-nosed old man all looked at the mysterious madam in surprise. "The previous master of the main tower," Mu Tianyang murmured. Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something, and suddenly looked up at the mysterious madam. It was her. No wonder she gave him an inexplicable sense of familiarity. For a moment, the place fell into a dead silence. The mysterious madam was actually the previous master of the main tower. This was simply explosive news, and it was hard to believe. After a while, Qin Feiyang came back to his senses, looked down at Yi Shu, and said, "I've been to the main tower's land of inheritance, so I know the existence of the previous master of the main tower. It is said that she is the daughter of the second master of the main tower, and also the senior sister of the current one." "That's right." Yi Shu nodded. Qin Feiyang said, "But the problem is, she is completely different from the statue in the land of inheritance." Yi Shu looked at the mysterious madam and said, "Madam, let them see it with their own eyes." The mysterious madam sighed and said, "Wait for me." Then, she entered the space artifact. "Impossible, everyone is looking forward to it. Only the chief pagoda master is shaking his head and muttering to himself." A short while later, a woman suddenly appeared in the void. Looking at this woman, the chief tower master, the hawk-nosed old man, the former vice pavilion master, and the monkey-faced old man's eyes widened. Qin Feiyang was also dumbfounded by what he saw. The woman was about 1.7 meters tall. She had exquisite facial features and an exquisite figure, just like a young girl. Her beautiful black hair was tied up high with a golden hairpin in the middle. She was wearing a pale golden dress with a true phoenix embroidered on it. As she stood there, she looked graceful and noble, like an empress who had descended to the world. There was a great sense of dignity between her brows. "That's right," Qin Feiyang murmured. The woman in front of him looked exactly the same as the statue in the land of inheritance. "I never would have thought, I truly never would have thought that the person who's been targeting my Mu family time and time again would be you. After so many years, you haven't changed at all." Mu Tianyang shook his head and sighed. Qin Feiyang said, "You know her too?" Mu Tianyang looked at Qin Feiyang and said, "We entered the divine site together back then, so of course we know each other. And I know much more about her than you do. It's not until today that I understand why she's taking care of you so much." The mysterious woman raised her eyebrows and looked down at Mu Tianyang, saying, "Don't say what you shouldn't say." "Why can't I say it?" Mu Tianyang asked. The mysterious woman said angrily, "I'll say it myself." "You don't have to say it." Mu Tianyang shrugged and said, all right. You can tell Qin Feiyang later." "Tell me what?" Qin Feiyang frowned. Mu Tianyang smiled and said, "Don't worry. You'll know the relationship between you and her later." Qin Feiyang looked at Mu Tianyang and then at the mysterious woman. Relationship? What kind of relationship did he have with the previous chief pagoda master? Impossible. Suddenly, a furious roar was heard. Everyone looked at the chief pagoda master and saw him shaking his head frantically, his face full of doubt. Yi Shu sneered, "She's right in front of you. What's impossible?" "Shut up. Senior sister is clearly dead. She can't be senior sister." The chief pagoda master roared at Yi Shu, then stared at the mysterious woman and shouted, "Who the hell are you? What's your purpose for pretending to be senior sister? Of course you want me dead. Unfortunately, I'm lucky to have lived until today. My good junior brother, are you very scared now? Afraid that I'll tell you what happened back then?" The mysterious woman looked at the chief pagoda master with a sneer and said. "What happened back then?" Qin Feiyang murmured. He remembered that the chief pagoda master had told him that the mysterious woman had died because of an accident. At that time, he was puzzled. Who would be so bold as to attack the chief pagoda master of the Pill Pagoda? However, he did not ask too much at that time. Now that he heard the mysterious woman's tone, could it be related to the chief pagoda master? When the chief pagoda master heard the mysterious woman's words, a hint of panic flashed across his face, and he shouted, "Don't talk nonsense. Since you say you're my senior sister, please take out the evidence." "Does this count as evidence?" The mysterious woman waved her hand, and a jade pendant appeared. The jade pendant was emerald green and flickered with crystal light. An extremely exquisite flame pattern was engraved on it. "This is the second chief pagoda master's jade pendant," the hook-nosed old man exclaimed. Yi Shu looked at the hook-nosed old man and sneered, "You still remember?" The hook-nosed old man nodded and said, "Of course I remember. I was trained by him. When he was in charge of the Pill Pagoda, I was the first pagoda master. This old man will never forget his great kindness. I also remember that he personally gave this jade pendant to his daughter." The monkey-faced old man also looked at the jade pendant in a daze and muttered, "It really is his daughter." Yi Shu looked at the monkey-faced old man and snorted coldly, "It seems that your memory is not bad." The monkey-faced old man's gaze trembled, and he smiled bitterly, "I was also trained by the old man. In my heart, he is like a father to me. Wasn't I also trained by the old man? That's why I've always been by Madam's side. No, I should call you eldest miss now. I used to call you Madam because I wanted to hide my identity as the eldest Mississippi. Now tell me again, am I a traitor?" Yi Shu shouted. "Greetings, eldest Mississippi." The hook-nosed old man and monkey-faced old man looked at each other and immediately knelt down respectfully. "Get up." Mysterious Madam smiled. The hook-nosed old man got up and asked suspiciously, "Eldest miss, since you're still alive, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you return to the main tower? Why did you use the identity of Mysterious Madam to deal with our main tower?" Yi Shu pointed at the main tower master and said, "Of course it's because of him." The hook-nosed old man, monkey-faced old man, and the former deputy tower master immediately looked at the main tower master. The main tower master's expression became more and more panicked. Yi Shu looked at the main tower master and said coldly, "Do you want to say it yourself, or do you want us to say it for you?" The main tower master's body trembled. He glanced at the group of people and gradually collapsed powerlessly. "Do you know fear now? Why didn't I see you afraid when you plotted against the eldest miss? You're an ungrateful white-eyed wolf." Yi Shu was furious. He took a step forward and directly slapped the main tower master's face. With a bang, the main tower master immediately fell to the ground, his face full of fear. "Plotted?" The monkey-faced old man and the others trembled and said in shock and anger, "Yi Shu, what's going on?" Back then, he took advantage of the eldest miss's unpreparedness and used the calamity spirit pill to plot against her. If the eldest miss had not pretended to be dead and deceived him, she would have died in his hands. Even so, the eldest miss's cultivation was completely crippled. It was not until she entered the divine ruin that she recovered to the false god realm. All these years, the eldest miss has been hiding in the 9 regions to recuperate. Because the eldest miss was worried that the news would leak and the main tower master would know that she was not dead, she only contacted me over the years. Yi Shu said. "Bastard. You're the junior brother of the eldest Mississippi. Back then, the old man even treated you like his own son. Why did you do this?" The hook-nosed old man and monkey-faced old man were furious. They glared at the main tower master and shouted. "Why else? It's because of the position of the main tower master. Back then, the old man passed the position of the main tower master to the eldest Mississippi. He was dissatisfied, so he plotted against the eldest Mississippi, Yi Shu said in disgust. For the position of the main tower master, you did such a heartless thing. Do you even deserve to be human? Is power really that important? The two old men glared at the main tower master. They were both furious. Hee, however, the main tower master laughed mockingly. Yi Shu said again, at that time, he had an accomplice. An accomplice? Who? The two old men looked at Yi Shu with murderous intent in their eyes. The Mu family. Yi Shu pointed at Mu Tianyang and said word by word. What? The Mu family. The two old men's eyes trembled. That's right. Back then, our main tower master was worried that the operation would fail alone, so he joined forces with Mu Changfeng and Mu Changyun. In exchange, he agreed to let the Mu family hide in the Fire Phoenix mountain range and recuperate. Yi Shu said. So that's what happened. Qin Feiyang muttered. Everything was finally clear. The main tower master was greedy for power and colluded with the Mu family to kill the mysterious madam. The mysterious madam had been dealing with the Mu family and the main tower all these years to take revenge. Sigh. I never thought that I, the main tower master, the person with the highest authority in the Forgotten Continent, would be such a despicable and cunning person. Once this spreads out, who knows how many people will laugh at us behind our backs. What a disgrace to the Forgotten Continent. The former vice pavilion master shook his head and sighed. He was extremely disappointed in the main tower master. Genius memorized this address in 1 second. Mobile version of reading website. Chapter 1757. I'm despicable. I'm treacherous. I'm a disgrace to the Forgotten Continent. Huh, the chief tower master laughed maniacally. Is that not the case? The former vice tower master looked at him and asked. Do you really think that old man treats me well? If he treats me well, why would he pass the position of chief tower master to his daughter? If he treats me well, why didn't he marry his daughter to me, knowing that I like her so much? In the end, he's just a selfish person. The chief tower master said angrily. Qin Feiyang looked at the mysterious madam in shock. He did not expect that this woman was the chief tower master's sweetheart. You like me? What a joke. Do you think we're all blind? Back then, everyone knew that you liked me because of my identity. You wanted to obtain the power that you've been longing for from me. The mysterious madam yelled. The chief tower master yelled, ask yourself honestly, is that true? If it wasn't for Qin Badian, you. Shut up. The mysterious madam yelled. Qin Feiyang was stunned. How was this related to his ancestor again? Could it be that this woman really had some sort of relationship with his ancestor? What? You dare to do it, but you don't dare to let others talk about it? The chief tower master looked at the mysterious madam mockingly. The mysterious madam's expression darkened. Yi Shu said, Madam, there's nothing shameful about this. Just let him talk about it. Qin Feiyang looked at the three of them and said impatiently, Hey, what are you trying to say? Mu Tianyang laughed and said, Qin Feiyang, you don't understand. This is a secret that very few people know. Secret? Qin Feiyang frowned. That's right. Mu Tianyang nodded and said with a smile, This mysterious madam who has been taking care of you is called Tan Tai Li. She's your ancestor's woman. What? Qin Feiyang was tongue-tied and couldn't come back to his senses for a long time. Mu Tianyang looked at the mysterious madam and said with a smile, Tan Tai Li, it seems like you can't say it. Let me say it for you. Then, he looked at Qin Feiyang and asked, Do you know the divine beasts of the endless sea? I know. Qin Feiyang said. Gongsun Bei had told him about this before. Back then, when that mythical beast caused havoc and harmed the Forgotten Continent, it was our ancestors who led their subordinates to heavily injure and seal it. The meeting between Tan Tai Li and your ancestors started from that time. Back then, Tan Tai Li was already the Pill Tower's head tower master. However, at that time, her cultivation wasn't very high. Facing the divine beast, she didn't have the power to resist at all. She could only watch as the divine beast did evil. Afterwards, your ancestor appeared in the Forgotten Continent. You also know that your ancestor was a warm-hearted person. When he heard about this, he immediately rushed to the Endless Sea and fought a great battle with that mythical beast. Finally, he suppressed it. It was also at that time that Tan Tai Li met your ancestor. Women prefer heroes like your ancestor. Thus, the two gradually developed feelings for each other. The last time the Divine Ruin opened, your ancestor took a great risk for her and wanted to force his way into the first level from the second level. In the end, he was almost killed by the power of laws. Mu Tianyang said. So that's how it is. Qin Feiyang suddenly understood. The mysterious madam had also said this when they entered the Divine Ruin. However, at that time, she didn't mention their relationship. Qin Feiyang looked at the mysterious madam and sighed. I really didn't expect that there was such a relationship between us. That's right. When I first met you in White Fox City, because I didn't know your identity, I wanted to use you and even almost killed you. You don't hate me, do you? The mysterious madam said apologetically. I hated you in the past, but now, I can't hate you even if I want to. Qin Feiyang smiled bitterly. The mysterious madam sighed deeply and said, to be honest, it's fortunate that I didn't kill you in the beginning. Otherwise, I would have felt guilty for the rest of my life. Qin Feiyang smiled and said, so later, when you found out about my identity, you gave me battle arts and resources to train me? Yes. That's only one aspect. On the other hand, I used all kinds of methods, such as massacring the creatures of various regions to frame you and force you into a desperate situation. It was also to train you. The mysterious madam said. Qin Feiyang said, you really put a lot of thought into it, but the price is too high. You should know that those creatures who died were innocent. You don't understand. I just want you to learn how to be ruthless. Your ancestor ended up in a situation where his life and death are unknown because he was too kind. I don't want you to end up like him. The mysterious madam said faintly. Qin Feiyang fell silent. No matter what, the mysterious madam was doing it for his own good. He couldn't blame her. Tan Tai Li, although I know what happened between you and Qin Badian in the beginning, I don't understand what happened after that. Why didn't you go with him? Mu Tianyang looked at the mysterious madam and asked in confusion. The mysterious madam pondered for a long time and said, back then, after we left the divine site, the battle between you and him completely erupted. Do you still remember that? Of course. Because of the matter of my second brother being sealed, I was very angry. As soon as we left the divine site and returned to the Tianyang Empire, I gave the order to kill him. That battle is still vivid in my mind. It was also at that time that he destroyed the Tianyang Empire and sealed me. Mu Tianyang said. Yes. After destroying the Tianyang Empire and establishing the Great Qin Empire, he led his subordinates to the Forgotten Continent and found me, saying that he wanted to enter the divine site again, the mysterious madam said. Mu Tianyang asked, the divine site was closed. How did he enter? I don't know. At that time, I also wanted to go with him. Because at that time, I was already pregnant with his child. The mysterious madam said. Child? Mu Tianyang was stunned. Child, Qin Feiyang murmured and looked at the mysterious madam in surprise. Could it be her? Yes. Haven't you always wanted to know Rushwang's surname? She's the same as you, surnamed Qin. She's the biological daughter of your ancestor. The mysterious madam said. The biological daughter of my ancestor? Qin Feiyang was stunned. The biological daughter of his ancestor was someone of the same generation as Emperor Hong. This generation was a little high. No wonder Qin Rushwang often scolded him when he joked with her back then. The mysterious madam also often said something about disrespecting elders and being struck by lightning. So this was what she meant. After Mu Tianyang came back to his senses, he smiled bitterly and said, I really didn't expect that bastard to have a biological daughter. After saying that, he looked at Tan Tai Li and asked, what happened after that? I wanted to go with him, but he refused. He told me that even he didn't know what he would face in the future. He didn't allow me to take risks with him. I know his temper, so I didn't force him. After spending a few days alone with him, he left with his subordinates. The mysterious madam sighed. Mu Tianyang frowned and said, why did he still go to the divine site? I don't know. The mysterious madam shook her head. Qin Feiyang asked, did my ancestor know that you were pregnant with his child at that time? No. If he knew about this, he would definitely stay because of the child. But your ancestor was a person with great ambitions. I didn't want to be a burden to him, nor did I want to force him to stay by my side because of the child. So, I didn't tell him from beginning to end. The mysterious madam said. It's been hard on you. Qin Feiyang sighed. It's nothing. Not long after your ancestor left, this junior brother of mine learned about the matter between your ancestor and me. So, he was jealous and joined forces with the Mu family to plot against me. Later, when Rushwang grew up, I asked Yi Shu to take her to the Central Divine Kingdom. With Yi Shu's help, I built the famous Dragon Phoenix Pavilion. All these years, I was able to clearly know every move of the main tower. It was all thanks to Yi Shu and Rushwang. The mysterious madam said. So that's how it is. Qin Feiyang hesitated and asked, then, you and Emperor Hong. I have nothing to do with Emperor Hong. He was born of your ancestor's first wife. When I met your ancestor, Emperor Hong's birth mother had already passed away. The mysterious madam said. That's good. Qin Feiyang nodded and said with a smile, it's not a shameful thing for two people to love each other. Why did you look so embarrassed before? Because Emperor Qin didn't give you any status. It's not legitimate. Yi Shu said. What era is it now? It's still not legitimate. Qin Feiyang was speechless. Yi Shu was stunned and said with joy, so, you recognize Mrs. Identity? She contributed so much to the ancestor and gave birth to a daughter. Of course, I recognize her. She is Qin Feiyang's relative. Qin Feiyang said. Yi Shu was overjoyed when he heard that. He looked at Tan Tai Li and said with a smile, Miss, did you see that? I told you that your worries were unnecessary. Tan Tai Li's face was also filled with a joyful smile. But, Qin Feiyang changed the topic and said again, frowning. But what? Seeing this, Tan Tai Li became nervous again. According to seniority, I should call you great-grandmother. I'm still not used to it. Qin Feiyang rubbed his head and smiled. Tan Tai Li immediately rolled her eyes. She thought Qin Feiyang had changed his mind. It turned out that it was because of this that she was nervous for half a day. Yi Shu shook his head and smiled. He looked at Qin Feiyang and said, boy, you can't mess up the seniority, especially you and Rushwang. Qin Feiyang was stunned and asked suspiciously, Elder, what do you mean? You know what I mean. Yi Shu snorted. Qin Feiyang looked puzzled. Suddenly, he looked at Yi Shu strangely and said, you don't think I'm interested in Qin Rushwang, do you? Yi Shu didn't answer. But his meaning was already obvious. Qin Feiyang shook his head helplessly and said disdainfully, Elder, you're already so old. Why are your thoughts still so impure? It's not hard to imagine. How could I be tempted by someone who's like a great-grandmother? Yi Shu looked embarrassed when he heard this. Chapter 1758. Wrong, wrong, wrong. It's not like that at all. But at this moment, the Chief Tower Master suddenly roared. Yi Shu sneered, then tell me, what's the matter? She was the one who seduced Qin Batian on her own accord. Qin Batian doesn't have a good impression of her at all. The Chief Tower Master laughed sinisterly. Mu Tianyang sighed, how jealous are you of Qin Batian? I'm jealous of him. The Chief Tower Master sneered. Although Qin Batian is my opponent, I won't make things up. He and Tan Tai Li are in love with each other. Mu Tianyang said. Shut up. What do you know? If it weren't for her, what right does Qin Baishan's statue have to enter my Chief Tower's land of inheritance? She's a selfish woman. The Chief Tower Master roared. Selfish? If it weren't for the Qin Emperor suppressing that divine beast, my forgotten continent would have been plunged into misery and suffering. Do you think he has the right? Here, the one who has the least right to speak is you. Yi Shu said angrily. No, it's all a lie. The Chief Tower Master looked at the hook-nosed old man and the monkey-faced old man, and said, You too, you must believe me, don't be fooled by them. Still want to quibble? Yi Shu was unable to restrain his anger, and he stepped forward and slapped the Chief Tower Master's head with a murderous aura. No, the Chief Tower Master cried out in despair. Old Yi, please have mercy. But suddenly, an old voice sounded. Following closely, an old man appeared in the void not far away. It was Wang Su. He quickly flew over and landed beside the Chief Tower Master. Looking at the mysterious lady, he cupped his hands and said, Old Wang Su greets young Mississippi, you're still willing to come out. The mysterious lady coldly snorted. Wang Su's gaze trembled, and he said respectfully, This old man heard what young Miss said before. The Chief Tower Master is indeed guilty, but all these years, the Chief Tower Master has managed the forgotten continent conscientiously. Even if there's no merit, there's still hard work. Young Miss, please forgive him. No. Yi Shu shouted before the mysterious madam could say anything. Elder Yi. I know that young Miss has suffered a lot over the years, but these things have already happened. Even if we kill the Chief Tower Master now, what use is it? Why don't we give him a way out and let him make up for his mistakes? Wang Mo said. Yi Shu raised his eyebrows and said, There are so many people here, and you're the only one who's pleading for him. Could it be that the two of you, old man Yi, you can't speak carelessly? I, Wang Su, swear that I am absolutely not in cahoots with him. I only found out about him plotting against the eldest miss just now. Wang Su said in a deep voice. Yi Shu looked up at the mysterious lady. Fine. Let's not kill him yet. We'll make a decision after we return to the main tower. The mysterious lady said. Great-grandmother, you said that my ancestors and I are benevolent. Aren't you the same? If such a person is left alive, there will be endless trouble in the future. Killing intent surged in Qin Feiyang's eyes as he landed in front of the Chief Tower Master and slammed his palm towards him. Qin Feiyang, this is my Chief Tower's matter. You have no right to interfere. Wang Su angrily said as he threw a punch at Qin Feiyang. If I want to kill someone, do you think you can stop me? Qin Feiyang coldly snorted as his hand turned in the air and slammed towards Wang Su's fist. The fist and the palm collided in an instant. Boom! Wang Su was sent flying, blood gushing out of his mouth. Qin Feiyang ignored him and continued to attack the Chief Tower Master. In short, this person must not be left alive. But just as he was about to succeed, the Chief Tower Master suddenly disappeared in front of him. Everyone present was extremely bewildered. Boom! Qin Feiyang released his divine sense and spread it in all directions. At this moment, he caught two divine space objects in the void in front of him. One of the divine space objects was right next to Mu Tianyang and did not move. The other divine space object was fleeing into the distance. Obviously, the divine space object floating next to Mu Tianyang was Mu Qing and the others. Before, there were a total of 3 divine space objects here. The owners of the 3 divine space objects were Wang Su, Mu Tianyang, and the mysterious man. Now, Wang Su appeared. Mu Tianyang's divine space object also did not move. Then, the divine space object that escaped must be the mysterious man who saved the Imperial Preceptor and Emperor Hong. I'd like to see who you are. Qin Feiyang's eyes flashed with a fierce light as he revived the divine phoenix saber. Swish! But without waiting for the divine phoenix saber to attack, Emperor Hong and the Imperial Preceptor both appeared in the void in front of him. The two's Qi Si had been repaired. And Emperor Hong still had a person in his hands. This person's lower abdomen was dripping with blood, and he looked quite miserable. It was Zhao Tai. Emperor Hong glanced at the mysterious lady, then looked at Qin Feiyang and said, "You'd better not move, otherwise don't blame me for being ruthless." "Young master, don't worry about me," Zhao Tai cried out. "Shut up." A cold light flashed in Emperor Hong's eyes as he grabbed Zhao Tai's neck and squeezed hard. Zhao Tai's throat suddenly emitted a crisp cracking sound. "Really stupid, how could I not care about you?" Qin Feiyang looked at Zhao Tai and sighed. He looked at Emperor Hong and said, "Let him go, I'll give you a way out." Emperor Hong sneered, "It's not up to you now. If you want me to let him go, I can, but as a condition, bring me that stone coffin." "Emperor Hong, as the son of the Qin Emperor, why are you colluding with the Imperial Preceptor? Aren't you afraid of being ridiculed by the world?" The mysterious lady said angrily. "Do you still think of yourself as a member of my Qin clan? Let me tell you, although Qin Feiyang recognizes you, I don't. As long as this old man is here, don't even think about entering my Qin clan's door. Your daughter, don't even think about returning to her ancestry." Emperor Hong shouted. The mysterious lady's face was gloomy. Qin Feiyang looked at the mysterious lady and said to Emperor Hong, "I'm afraid you can't make the decision on this matter." "What a joke, I'm the son of the Qin Emperor, and the person with the highest seniority in the Qin clan. If even I can't make the decision, then who can?" Emperor Hong said. Qin Feiyang clenched his fists. What an old bastard taking advantage of his seniority. Emperor Hong shouted, "Less nonsense, give me the stone coffin." "Okay." Qin Feiyang nodded, looked at Tan Tai Li, and smiled, "Great-grandmother, let Li Jian out." The mysterious lady waved her hand and Li Jian appeared. Qin Feiyang looked at Li Jian and said, "Give me the Qinkuan pouch." "Yes." Li Jian took out the Qinkuan pouch, walked in front of Qin Feiyang, and handed it to Qin Feiyang. Looking at the Qinkuan pouch, Mu Tianyang and the state preceptor's eyes suddenly flashed. Qin Feiyang grabbed the Qinkuan pouch, waved his hand, and 2 stone coffins appeared. But he was not in a hurry to open the coffins. He turned to look at Mu Tianyang, and said lightly, "You caught Tang Hai for the stone coffins. Let's not drag it out, let's solve it once and for all." "Sure enough, it's straightforward." Mu Tianyang smiled and said, "Mu Qin, let Tang Hai out." Swish! Before his voice faded, Mu Changfeng and Mu Changyun appeared with Tang Hai. Tang Hai didn't dare to look at Qin Feiyang, and said guiltily, "Young master, I'm sorry." "Don't say that, it's not your fault. If you want to blame someone, blame the small beast and the ice dragon. Originally, victory was in our grasp, but it was all because they came out to mess things up that we ended up in this situation." Qin Feiyang laughed. Tang Hai smiled apologetically. Since the young master didn't blame him, he naturally didn't need to continue blaming himself. Qin Feiyang raised his hands, grabbed the lids of the 2 stone coffins, and forcefully lifted them. However, it actually didn't open. The coffin lid and the stone coffin seemed to be one, and didn't even move. "What's going on?" Qin Feiyang was taken aback. Mu Tianyang and the state preceptor also frowned. Emperor Hong suddenly thought of something, and said, try it with your purple gold dragon blood. Purple gold dragon blood, Qin Feiyang muttered, cut his fingertip, and 2 drops of purple gold dragon blood dripped onto the 2 stone coffins. Buzz! The stone coffin suddenly emitted strands of purple gold divine light. Following closely. As if it had triggered some mechanism, with a clang, the coffin lid opened a little. Just as the coffin lid opened, 2 terrifying auras roared out from the coffin. These 2 auras were completely different. The aura that rushed out from the right coffin carried a domineering aura. The aura of the left coffin was filled with an evil aura. Feeling these 2 auras, Mu Tianyang and the State Preceptor immediately knew which coffin they wanted. Right. Mu Tianyang said. Left. The State Preceptor followed. Qin Feiyang said, I can give you the stone coffin, but you have to let them go first. Mu Tianyang laughed, we'll let them go first. What if you change your mind and don't give it to us? Qin Feiyang said, you still don't trust my, Qin Feiyang's, character? If it was any other time, I would definitely trust you unconditionally, but the situation is different now. I have to be on guard. Mu Tianyang said. I'm not Mu Tianyang, I've never trusted you, you have to give me the stone coffin first. And Lord Emperor Hong's heavenly great sword. The State Preceptor looked at Qin Feiyang and said. Zhao Tailai hurriedly said, Young master, the axe you gave me was also snatched away by the State Preceptor. Tang Hai added, and my dagger, it's also in Mu Changfeng's hands. Qin Feiyang raised his eyebrows, looked at Mu Tianyang and the State Preceptor, and said with a smile, the 2 of you, the situation seems to have become a little complicated. Mu Tianyang shouted, Changfeng, who allowed you to do this, quickly return the dagger to Tang Hai. Father, Mu Changfeng hurriedly said. Mu Tianyang said, I don't want to say it a second time. Mu Changfeng glanced, took out the black dagger, and threw it to Tang Hai. Tang Hai caught the dagger and sneered, haven't you forgotten one thing? Mu Changfeng coldly snorted, and with a thought, he erased the blood contract in the dagger. The moment he snatched the dagger, he erased the blood contract with Tang Hai and dripped blood to bind it. Originally, he planned to snatch the dagger again after the transaction was completed. But he didn't expect Tang Hai to remember this. Qin Feiyang looked at the State Preceptor and said with a smile, what about you? The State Preceptor reluctantly took out the axe and coldly snorted, it's just a rusty axe, this Preceptor doesn't care about it. After saying that, he threw it to Zhao Tailai. Zhao Tailai caught it in his hand, a hint of ridicule flashed in his eyes. You don't care about it and you still want to snatch it? I've never seen such a hypocritical old fart. Chapter 1759. Emperor Hong said, Heavenly Great Sword. Qin Feiyang waved his hand, and the Heavenly Great Sword appeared. Let's trade. Mu Tianyang said. What's the hurry? Don't you want to know what's inside the sarcophagus? Qin Feiyang pointed to the sarcophagus on the left and smiled. Mu Tianyang looked at the sarcophagus, his eyes shining. The Grand Master's expression changed slightly, and he shouted, Don't open it, trade immediately. So guilty? Qin Feiyang smiled and waved his hand. The false god power rushed towards the sarcophagus, and the lid flew up. A skeleton immediately appeared in Qin Feiyang's line of sight. The skeleton was grayish-white. That strong evil aura enveloped all directions. Why is it a skeleton? Qin Feiyang raised his eyebrows. The most important thing was that it was also grayish-white. Mu Tianyang said in a deep voice, That's right, this is the divine body of the demon ancestor. How do you know? Qin Feiyang was suspicious. Back then, when we fought with him, we saw the color of his divine bones. It was grayish-white. Moreover, the length and size of this divine bone is about the same as the demon ancestor's body. The most important thing is that this evil aura is exactly the same as the demon ancestor's. Qin Badian, that old thing is really crazy. Such a possible demon, but he didn't destroy it completely. Mu Tianyang said angrily. Qin Feiyang's eyes flashed, and he waved his hand again, opening the lid of Mu Tianjuan's coffin. There was also only a set of divine bones inside, and the flesh had already decayed. But the difference was that the surface of the divine bones was suffused with a hazy golden light. The mysterious madam walked to Qin Feiyang's side and scanned the two godly skeletons. She transmitted her voice, Feiyang, no matter if it's the demon ancestor or Mu Tianjun, they are both extremely terrifying existences. Are you really going to return them to them? Tang Hai and old Zhao are in their hands, so I can only return them. Qin Feiyang thought. He was also extremely annoyed. It was all that small beast's fault. According to his original plan, not only would he be able to make the Imperial Preceptor and Mu Tianyang suffer heavy losses, he would also be able to destroy the divine bodies of Mu Tianjun and the devil ancestor. However, with the small beast's interference, all of his plans fell apart. Even though Mu Tianyang's side had lost a lot of pseudo-gods, including a divine god of battle, they were nothing compared to Mu Tianyang. Mu Tianyang said, "Hurry up and trade." Qin Feiyang took a deep breath and turned to the mysterious lady Ni Shu, saying, "Gentlemen, I'll have to trouble you to help me make the trade." The two of them nodded. Each of them carried a stone coffin and the heavenly great sword, respectively heading towards Emperor Hong and Mu Changfeng. During the transaction, none of the three parties played any tricks. The transaction was successfully completed. The mysterious lady brought Zhao Tailai back to Qin Feiyang's side. Zhao Tailai looked at Qin Feiyang guiltily and said, "Young master, I'm sorry, I've implicated you. I've already said that it's not your fault. Don't say sorry again." Qin Feiyang glared at Zhao Tailai and looked down at their bellies. He frowned and said, "That's not right. Didn't I ask Cedar to help you repair your Qi Si? Why hasn't it been repaired yet? According to Cedar's repair ability, my Qi Si should have been repaired long ago. However, Emperor Hong and the Imperial Preceptor are not fools. When my Qi Si was about to be repaired, they destroyed it again." Zhao Tailai said angrily. "My situation is the same. Originally, I wanted to wait until my Qi Si was repaired before capturing Mu Tianyang and the others, but as soon as Mu Tianyang woke up, he discovered this." Tang Hai smiled bitterly. Qin Feiyang nodded. At the same time, the Imperial Preceptor and Mu Tianyang also put away the stone coffin. The mysterious lady glanced at the people on both sides and said, "Feiyang, do you want to make a move now?" "No need. If we make a move now, Mu Tianyang and the Imperial Preceptor will most likely join forces. Coupled with Mu Tianyang's heaven-defying divine artifact, the situation will be very unfavorable for us." Qin Feiyang thought. "That's true." The mysterious lady nodded. Although they have several war gods on their side, Tang Hai and Zhao Tailai's Qi Si has not been repaired. The aquiline-nosed old man's Qi Si is also destroyed. At present, only the monkey-faced old man, the mysterious lady, Qin Feiyang, and Yi Shu have the strength to fight. If they really fight, they will definitely be at a disadvantage. Mu Tianyang looked at Wang Su and said, "Let's start our transaction." "Okay." Wang Su nodded and waved his old hand. Wang Yuanshan and Marquis Wushenhao appeared. Mu Tianyang didn't say anything and directly released Wang Yuanshan's control. Wang Su also released Marquis Wushenhao. "Okay. The transaction is complete. But Qin Feiyang, the grudge between us has not been resolved." Mu Tianyang looked at Qin Feiyang and said with a smile. Qin Feiyang said, "Although the ancient castle is sealed and Chang Shui has been taken away by the small beast, I'm afraid that your current strength is not enough to kill me." "Of course I know. After all, you still have the Black Tortoise realm. I don't plan to fight here. What I want to say is that our battle will erupt soon. You have to be prepared." Mu Tianyang chuckled and said with full confidence. Qin Feiyang smiled and said, "I'll return those words to you without missing a word." As expected of Qin Feiyang. Then let's wait and see. Mu Tianyang laughed heartily. Swish. The next moment, Mu Tianyang, Mu Zhangfeng, Mu Zhangyun, and Marquis Wu Shenhao all disappeared. Emperor Hong and the imperial tutor also entered the spatial divine object and left without looking back. Wang Su looked at everyone and asked, "What about the chief pagoda master?" But no one answered him. The mysterious lady's divine sense had been searching the void. A moment later, she retracted her divine sense and looked at Qin Feiyang, saying, "Feiyang, that mysterious spatial divine object and the imperial tutor's spatial divine object went in the same direction. Should we chase after them?" Qin Feiyang turned his head to look at Zhao Tailai and asked, "Old Zhao, did you see anyone in that spatial divine object just now? Now that you mention it, it's really strange. At that time, in that spatial divine object, other than Emperor Hong and the imperial tutor, I didn't see anyone else." Zhao Tailai said. "You mean, in that spatial divine object, only the imperial tutor and Emperor Hong were in it?" Qin Feiyang said. "Yes." Zhao Tailai nodded. "It seems that this person's spatial divine object is the same as Mu Tianyang's spatial divine object. There is more than one space inside. When you were captured, he should have been hiding somewhere else. But this person, who is he? What is his relationship with the imperial tutor and Emperor Hong?" Qin Feiyang frowned. Wang Su said angrily, "I'm asking you, what about the chief pagoda master? Why didn't you save the chief pagoda master from their hands when we made the deal? Don't you understand? Even if we want to save him, he won't come back. Because he knows that even if we don't kill him, there will be no place for him in the Forgotten Continent in the future. He will be like a rat crossing the street, no matter where he goes, he will be despised." Qin Feiyang said. "Miss, back then, we joined hands with Qin Feiyang and slaughtered all the combat emperors of the Mu family. The Mu family will definitely not let it go, so now is the time to use people. Although the chief pagoda master is wrong, but his strength, everyone can see it. If he can turn over a new leaf, it may not be a bad thing for our Forgotten Continent." Wang Su looked at the mysterious lady and said, "You don't understand him. He has been blinded by power and desire, and will never be able to turn over a new leaf." The mysterious lady said. Wang Su said, "Then now our Pill Pagoda has no leader. Who said we have no leader? Hasn't the miss returned?" Yi Shu said angrily. "That's right. The miss was originally our Pill Pagoda's chief pagoda master, and now that she has broken through to the war god realm, it is the most suitable for the miss to regain power." The hook-nosed old man nodded. This old man also agrees. The monkey-faced old man said, "I also have no objections." The former deputy pavilion master also expressed his opinion. Sigh. Wang Su glanced at them, sighed deeply, and didn't force it. The mysterious lady said, "About regaining power, let's talk about it when we return to the Forgotten Continent. Feiyang, how is Rushuang?" Qin Feiyang said, "She is comprehending the mysteries of becoming a god." The mysterious lady smiled happily and said, "Then don't disturb her." Qin Feiyang said, "Great-grandmother, I remember there is an uncle. Why don't I see him?" This so-called uncle was the middle-aged man who had helped him with the mysterious lady many times. He lived on an island in the endless ocean. He had the cultivation of a false god. The mysterious lady smiled and said, "I guess you will never be able to guess this uncle's true identity." True identity? Qin Feiyang was stunned. The mysterious lady said, "He is the divine beast that your ancestor suppressed back then." What? It's him. Qin Feiyang was shocked. If the mysterious lady didn't say it, he really wouldn't be able to guess. The mysterious lady said, "But you don't have to worry. A long time ago, he had already turned over a new leaf, otherwise I wouldn't have opened his seal." "It was you who opened his seal?" Qin Feiyang said. "That's right. Back then, your ancestor used my blood to seal him. Thus, my blood is able to undo his seal. As early as 3,000 years ago, I had already helped him open the seal. However, I have no way to open the seal in his body. The mysterious lady said. There is still a seal in his body? Qin Feiyang was surprised. Yes. This seal is specially used to seal his cultivation. As long as this seal exists, he will not be able to return to the cultivation of a war god. And this seal can only be opened by your ancestor in this world. This time, he entered the miracle specifically to find your ancestor. The mysterious lady said. So that's how it is. Qin Feiyang nodded in realization. Zhao Tailai was surprised. Wait, didn't the Qin emperor enter the third floor? How is he going to find him? Therefore, he has already gone to the third floor. I'm afraid we won't see him again. The mysterious lady sighed. He went to the third floor, Qin Feiyang murmured. He raised his head and looked at the entrance of the third floor with a hint of desire in his eyes. Young master, there are still many things waiting for you to deal with outside. Don't think about entering the third floor for the time being. Zhao Tailai said. Qin Feiyang nodded. He looked at the mysterious lady and asked, Great-grandmother, do you know about the ancient world? Ancient world? The mysterious lady was startled. Suddenly, as if she had thought of something, her eyes trembled slightly, and said, I seem to have heard your ancestor mention this place. Genius memorized the address in 1 second. Mobile version of reading website, M. Chapter 1760. You heard it from the ancestor? Qin Feiyang stared blankly and hurriedly asked, What did the ancestor say? The mysterious madam thought for a moment and shook her head. He only mentioned it casually. He didn't go into detail. Just casually mentioned it? Qin Feiyang's face was filled with disappointment. The mysterious madam asked suspiciously, Why are you suddenly asking about the ancient realm? To tell you the truth, I went to the ancient realm some time ago. I found someone there who knew the ancestor. And what's even stranger is, when Qin Feiyang said this, his expression became incomparably strange. Know him? The mysterious lady was stunned. Her breathing quickened as she asked, Who knows him? Qin Feiyang said, 2 people with the surname Gua. What do they look like? The mysterious madam asked. Qin Feiyang waved his hand. Pseudo-god power appeared and condensed into the figures of Gua Zixiong and Gua De. The mysterious madam looked at them for a moment and shook her head. I don't know them at all. Yi Shu said suspiciously, Kid, you said there's something even stranger. What is it? Qin Feiyang was speechless. Zhao Tailai and Tang Hai looked at each other and could not help but snicker. Qin Feiyang glared at the 2 of them. He looked at the mysterious madam and Yi Shu and said, The ancestor arranged a marriage for me in the ancient realm. What's that? A marriage? The 2 of them looked at each other. Yes. Qin Feiyang's face was full of helplessness. That can't be right. When your ancestor left, your father wasn't even born yet. Even if he went to the ancient realm, he couldn't have arranged a marriage for you. Is there a trap here? The mysterious madam asked. The marriage is not just for me. It's for the descendants of the Qin clan. In other words, as long as it's a descendant of the Qin clan, no matter who it is, they have to complete the marriage after entering the ancient realm. Qin Feiyang briefly told her about the marriage contract. I see. The mysterious madam suddenly understood and asked, Where's the entrance to the ancient realm? Her eyes were full of desire. This, Qin Feiyang was a little hesitant. Even he did not understand the situation in the ancient realm. Should he tell his great-grandmother about it? Eldest miss, the Qin emperor did not take you with him because he was afraid that you would be hurt. Why do you have to ask about this now? Yi Shu said. Obviously, he could see that Qin Feiyang was in a difficult position. The mysterious madam took a deep look at Yi Shu, then turned to look at Qin Feiyang and said with a smile, Pretend I didn't ask. Qin Feiyang smiled and said, Actually, even if I told you, you wouldn't be able to enter, because the entrance to the ancient realm is on the first level. The entrance the first. The mysterious madam was dumbfounded. Then, a bitter smile appeared on her face. Indeed. Even if she know the entrance. Because she couldn't enter the ancient realm. The monkey-faced old man walked in front of Qin Feiyang and cupped his hands. Brother Qin, I'm really sorry about before. Yes. Because of our moment of confusion, we almost caused a disaster. I hope Brother Qin can forgive us. The former deputy pavilion master and the hook-nosed old man were also apologetic. Wang Su's expression was extremely complicated. Seniors, you're too polite. Qin Feiyang waved his hand and smiled. He was not an unreasonable person. These people were all kept in the dark and used by the chief tower master. Now that the truth was out and the misunderstanding was cleared, how could he bear a grudge? However, there was one person that he must not let go. He looked at Wang Yuanshan. At the same time, Cui Li also looked at Wang Yuanshan, his eyes flashing with shocking murderous intent. Wang Yuanshan saw that the situation was not good and immediately hid behind Wang Su, his face full of fear. What's wrong, Feiyang? The mysterious madam looked at Qin Feiyang suspiciously. The monkey-faced old man and the others also noticed that the atmosphere was not right. Wang Su frowned. Qin Feiyang is my biological father and you er's great-grandfather. You, but before Wang Su could finish, Qin Feiyang snorted coldly. I know all this. Seeing Qin Feiyang's gaze becoming more and more terrifying, Wang Su's heart skipped a beat. He turned to Wang Yuanshan and asked anxiously, Father, did you do something to him? Wang Yuanshan stammered. You don't dare to say it? All right, I'll say it for you. Cui Li gritted his teeth and looked at everyone. Wang Yuanshan and I are old friends. I even risked my life to save him and Wang Yu in the Black Tortoise world. But what about him? He betrayed me and caused the deaths of everyone in Seven Fiends City, including my brothers. Betrayed? The mysterious madam and Yi Shu were bewildered. Wang Su said in a low voice, Father, what's going on? This is not my fault. Even if it was the giant python and the fire dragon, I didn't want this to happen. Wang Yuanshan shook his head. You didn't want this to happen either? What a joke. If you had done as I said, you and Wang Yu would definitely have been able to escape Seven Fiends City and the people in Seven Fiends City would have been fine. But what did you do? Not only did you not know how to be grateful, you even sent us to our deaths. Wang Yuanshan, you are really ruthless. Millions of people in Seven Fiends City died because of your selfishness and ambition. Cui Li roared. No. Wang Yuanshan shook his head. No? You think I don't know the reason why you betrayed me? Isn't it because you want to curry favor with the giant python and the fire dragon and make them your backing? Cui Li said angrily. Wang Su looked at Wang Yuanshan in disappointment and asked, Father, is what he said true? Wang Yuanshan's face was filled with panic. What Cui Li said is true. And that's not all. Qin Feiyang said. What else? Mysterious madam and the rest were bewildered. Zhao Tailai said, and Wang Yu, If not for young master's help, Wang Yu, would have been killed by him. Wang Su roared, Father, what are you thinking? You have really disappointed me. Wang Yuanshan was extremely terrified and knelt on the ground. He looked at Cui Li and said, Brother Cui, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please forgive me this once. If I forgive you now, will I still be able to face those souls who died unjustly? Will I still be able to face my brothers who died tragically? Cui Li said angrily, his face filled with sorrow. Wang Yuanshan's gaze trembled as he looked at Wang Su for help. Wang Su sighed and turned to look at Cui Li. He bowed and said, Brother Cui, I'm willing to bear the sins of father. Cui Li said, I'm afraid you won't be able to bear it. Wang Su went silent. So many people had died tragically. Such a monstrous sin was indeed something he could not bear. But as long as he could save his father, no matter what he had to do, he would not complain. He looked at Chui Li, looked at Qin Feiyang, and finally looked at Wang Yuanshan. Suddenly, he gritted his teeth, took out a calamity spirit pill, and threw it into his mouth without hesitation. Wang Su. The monkey-faced old man and the others changed color. The mysterious lady immediately stepped forward and slapped Wang Su's back. Puff. Immediately, the calamity spirit pill was accompanied by a mouthful of old blood. Wang Su roared, "Young miss, don't stop me. I want to atone for father's sins." "Shut up." The mysterious lady snorted and said, "This is Wang Yuanshan's sin. Although you are his son, you should not bear it." Wang Su said, "Young miss, it wasn't easy for me to reunite with father. How can I just watch him die in front of me? A son must pay his father's debts. I am willing to pay his debts." The mysterious lady raised her eyebrows and turned to look at Qin Feiyang. "I can turn a blind eye to other things, but not this. Chui Li is not only my subordinate, but also my family. His grudge is also my grudge." Qin Feiyang said expressionlessly. "Feiyang, Su, and the others don't know the situation in the Black Tortoise world, but you do. The giant python is the guardian of the miracle, and the fire dragon is a terrifying divine beast. It is pardonable for me to curry favor with them and curry favor with them. I admit that doing so is indeed selfish, but it is also to protect you, Wang Yuanshan looked at Qin Feiyang and exclaimed. Qin Feiyang said, "Chui Li is also protecting you." "I know. But in that situation, no one would believe that Chui Li could help us escape." Wang Yuanshan said. Sigh. "Even now, you are still twisting words and forcing logic. It is really hard not to kill you." Qin Feiyang sighed. Using the walk word technique, he instantly appeared behind Wang Yuanshan. Wang Su roared, "Qin Feiyang, you dare." "Humph." Qin Feiyang snorted. He raised his hand and slapped the top of Wang Yuanshan's head. Crack. Wang Yuanshan's head exploded like a watermelon, and his soul was immediately annihilated. "Father, Qin Feiyang, I will not rest until you are dead." Wang Su roared in grief, his hair stood on end as he madly pounced at Qin Feiyang. The mysterious lady grabbed Wang Su's arm and shouted, "Wang Su, enough is enough." "Young miss, let go of me," Wang Su roared. The mysterious lady frowned. She raised her hand and slammed it on the back of Wang Su's head. With a bang, Wang Su fainted. Wang Yuanshan's body also fell to the ground. "Brothers of Seven Demon City, young master has avenged you. You can rest in peace now." Chui Li looked at Wang Yuanshan's body and muttered to himself. 2 drops of tears flowed from the corner of his eyes. He then walked to Qin Feiyang and bowed. "Young master, thank you." He knew that Qin Feiyang did not care about Wang Su and killed Wang Yuanshan in front of everyone because of him. He also knew. Once he killed Wang Yuanshan, the grudge between Qin Feiyang and Wang Su would never be resolved. In fact, he had already decided to give up on revenge. It was not that he was magnanimous and forgave Wang Yuanshan. It was because he did not want to make things difficult for Qin Feiyang. After all, Qin Feiyang and Wang Yuer's relationship was not ordinary. And Wang Yuanshan was Wang Yuer's great-grandfather. These layers of relationships would make it difficult for Qin Feiyang to get along with Wang Yuer's family in the future. But Qin Feiyang did not hesitate and killed Wang Yuanshan on the spot. How could he not be moved? Qin Feiyang waved his hand and smiled. "You are my subordinate. It is only right for me to avenge you. All right, now that you have avenged, go and cultivate. Junior Leopard has already broken through to the War God realm. You have to speed up and not let me down." "Yes." Chui Li nodded. Chapter 1761. With a wave of his hand, Qin Feiyang sent Chui Li to the castle. With enough soul stones, Chui Li believed that it wouldn't take long for him to break through to the war god realm. Next, Qin Feiyang also sent the 6 elders, Li Jian and Yu Huang, to the castle, leaving only the golden leopard and Tang Hai outside. The mysterious lady looked at the monkey-faced old man and the others. You guys should also go to the spatial artifact to heal your wounds. Also, bring Wang Yuanshan's body with you. After all, he is a person of our forgotten continent. We should let him return to his roots. Yes. The few of them nodded respectfully. The monkey-faced old man walked forward, carrying the unconscious Wang Su in one hand and Wang Yuanshan's body in the other. The mysterious lady waved her hand and the group disappeared. Yi Shu glanced at Qin Feiyang and said in an annoyed tone, "Brat, you've killed him, you should be able to vent your anger now." Qin Feiyang said, "If it weren't for you, pleading for him, I would have killed him back in the Black Tortoise world. To tell you the truth, which one of us doesn't have blood on our hands? This time, it's you. If it were anyone else, I definitely wouldn't have allowed them to harm my tower's people." The mysterious lady said. "Great-grandmother, don't compare me to you. Although I've killed many people, most of them deserve to die." Qin Feiyang chuckled. The mysterious lady raised her eyebrows and said angrily, "Why do you sound like I'm the same type of person as Wang Yuanshan? Although not the same type, it's not that far off." Qin Feiyang snickered. "Are you looking for a beating?" The mysterious lady's face darkened and she raised her hand to knock Qin Feiyang's head. Qin Feiyang quickly dodged. The mysterious lady shook her head with a smile. "Jokes aside, there are some things you should think about first." "Think about what?" Qin Feiyang was suspicious. "Wang Su, Wang Yu's parents, you killed Wang Yuanshan, they definitely won't forgive you easily. And young Master Hao. Although that child is older than you, he hasn't experienced as much as you have. I'm afraid that the matter of the head pagoda master will be quite a blow to him. To be honest, I don't even know how to tell him." The mysterious lady sighed. Qin Feiyang said, "Young Master Hao is the pagoda master's son. Leaving him alive will only lead to endless troubles in the future. We might as well just kill him." The mysterious lady was stunned. She looked at Qin Feiyang with a smile and asked, "Are you speaking from your heart?" Qin Feiyang said, "Isn't that what you think?" According to his great-grandmother's personality, she definitely wouldn't leave a disaster like young Master Hao alive. The mysterious madam rolled her eyes at Qin Feiyang and sighed, "I have indeed thought of cutting the weeds and eliminating the roots. However, his father is my junior martial brother after all. He can also be considered as my nephew. Moreover, his father only has one son. I can't bear to kill him." "Ayaya, when did great-grandmother become so kind?" Qin Feiyang was surprised. A row of black lines appeared on the mysterious lady's forehead. She said angrily, "Boy, are you really itching for a beating? Great-grandmother, please spare me." Qin Feiyang hurriedly retreated. Seeing Qin Feiyang and the mysterious lady quarreling without any estrangement, Yi Shu felt happy for the mysterious lady from the bottom of her heart. "Stop fooling around. You go and tell young Master Hao about this." The mysterious lady looked at Qin Feiyang and said, "Me?" Qin Feiyang frowned. "Yes. If he can accept it and swears to cut off all ties with the head pagoda master, I will treat him as family." The mysterious lady said. "What if he can't accept it?" Qin Feiyang asked. "You should know what to do." The mysterious lady said. Qin Feiyang sighed. "You're asking me to be the bad guy. Why? You're not willing to do such a small thing?" The mysterious lady said angrily. "How can I not be willing? You're my great-grandmother. What if you beat me up? I can't fight back." Qin Feiyang chuckled. The mysterious lady shook her head and laughed. "What's next?" Do we continue to train on the second floor or go back? Qin Feiyang pondered for a moment and shook his head. We've been training for so long. Let's go back. Yi Shu said, I think we should train for a while longer. Why? Qin Feiyang was puzzled. You should know that once we leave the divine site, we won't only have to face Mu Tianyang, but also the Demon Lord and Mu Tianjun. Those three people were all people who could stand shoulder to shoulder with your ancestor. The Demon Lord is a heaven-defying existence. Back then, your ancestor, Mu Tianyang, and Mu Tianjun worked together to deal with him. If the three of them work together, we'll be in a very bad situation. That's why I suggest we wait until you become a war god before we leave. Yi Shu said in a deep voice. The mysterious lady said, Yi Shu's consideration is not without reason. Qin Feiyang nodded. If the Demon Lord and Mu Tianyang fought separately, it wouldn't be a problem. But if the two sides worked together, it would indeed be a problem. The mysterious madam said, only you can break this balance, because you have a heaven-defying deity technique, and the godly dragon technique that has just transformed into a perfect deity technique. When you break through to war god, you should be able to fight the demon ancestor. A perfect divine technique? Qin Feiyang was stunned. He waved his hand and a stone door appeared. Following that, a divine statue, a divine dragon, and a divine seal also appeared one after another. Ever since the dragon god technique evolved, he hadn't carefully looked at it. His eyes were filled with curiosity. These are the forms of the dragon god technique's 4 forms. Only a perfect divine technique can condense a form. The mysterious lady said. Qin Feiyang suddenly understood. When everyone was discussing these things, Qin Feiyang was still in an ethereal state, so he didn't hear it. Yi Shu said, Kid, have your other divine techniques condensed a form? No. If we calculate according to the dragon god technique's level, the evolved fire phoenix technique should be a high-tier divine technique. Eclipse moon and the twice-evolved return to ruin technique are both mid-tier divine techniques. As for the newly evolved Guiyuan sword technique, there's no doubt that it's a low-tier divine technique. Qin Feiyang said. What about the 3,000 incarnations? Yi Shu asked. Qin Feiyang said, I can't describe the 3,000 incarnations, but it should be a divine technique. The 3,000 incarnations are indeed different from other divine techniques. According to my observation, it should be a supportive divine technique. The mysterious lady said. Qin Feiyang nodded. What about your 6-word divine technique? Yi Shu asked again. I've only mastered 4 of the 6-word divine techniques, and they haven't condensed a form yet. But they're undoubtedly divine techniques. Qin Feiyang said with a smile. The mysterious lady said, actually, according to your ancestor, there's a higher level above the perfect divine technique. Higher? Qin Feiyang was surprised. Yes. But he only mentioned it in passing and didn't go into detail. The mysterious lady said. Higher, there's a higher level divine technique, there's a higher level of cultivation, then what's the level above war god? Qin Feiyang murmured. And where exactly was the end point of cultivation? Or was it that there was no end to the path of cultivation? There were too many questions that he couldn't figure out. Whoosh! Suddenly, a terrifying divine might descended from the sky. Who's there? The mysterious lady and Yi Shu's expressions changed. They quickly looked up and saw a 10-meter-long fire python floating in the sky. Its aura was oppressive. Don't be nervous. Qin Feiyang quickly comforted the two. You know each other? The mysterious lady and Yi Shu were stunned and asked. Yes. Qin Feiyang nodded and looked at the fire python with a smile. Brother Fire, let me introduce you. This is my great-grandmother. Great-grandmother, she's the current guardian of the divine ruins. Guardian? The mysterious lady and Yi Shu looked at each other in disbelief. How could this kid be brothers with the guardian? When they came back to their senses, the two quickly cupped their hands and said, "Greetings, Lord Guardian. No need to be so polite." The fire python smiled and looked at Qin Feiyang, saying, "Brother Qin, come up and talk." "Okay." Qin Feiyang nodded and turned to the mysterious lady in Tanghai, saying, "Wait for me here." They nodded. Qin Feiyang flew up and landed in front of the fire python. He whispered, "Brother Fire, how's my cousin?" The fire python replied, "I didn't see him. I heard from the beast god that he was taken away by the ice dragon." "Taken away?" Qin Feiyang was stunned and asked anxiously, "Where?" "I'm not sure. But according to the beast god, the ice dragon seems to have taken a liking to his talent and wants to take him as a disciple." The fire python said. This, Qin Feiyang was stunned. The ice dragon wants to take his cousin as a disciple? If that was the case, wouldn't it be a great fortune? If the ice dragon really has such intentions, it's indeed a great fortune for your cousin. The fire python smiled. Qin Feiyang sighed, "Even so, you and I don't know if that's the case." "That's what I'm thinking too. But it's useless to think about it." The fire python said. "Yes." Qin Feiyang nodded and asked, "Then do you know the relationship between the ice dragon and the small beast?" "Friends. But the beast god is much stronger than the ice dragon." The fire python said. "What? Stronger than the ice dragon?" Qin Feiyang was shocked. "Yes. The beast god himself said that the ice dragon is just a little worm in its eyes, and it can destroy it with a wave of its claws." The fire python said. Qin Feiyang sucked in a breath of cold air. The ice dragon is an existence that can even suppress a heaven-defying artifact, but it can destroy it with just a wave of its claws. How terrifying is the small beast's strength? The fire python said, "I'll help you inquire about your cousin's situation if there's a chance. Now let's talk about the fire dragon first. Then I'll thank you in advance." Qin Feiyang cupped his hands and thanked, then asked suspiciously, "What happened to the fire dragon?" The fire python said gloomily, "I haven't found the whereabouts of the fire dragon, and I'm not satisfied." Qin Feiyang frowned, "Why didn't the small beast tell you?" "How would I know? These days I've been thinking, is the beast god deliberately shielding it? Otherwise, why didn't it give the fire dragon to me?" The fire python said angrily. Qin Feiyang sighed, "Even if it's shielding the fire dragon, you don't dare to do anything." "Yes. It's the master of the miracle. My life and death are in its hands. What can I do? So Brother Qin, I want to ask you." The fire python said. Chapter 1762. Qin Feiyang said, "Please tell me, Brother Fire. As long as it's within my power, I'll do my best." The fire python regarded him as a friend and confidant. Of course, he wouldn't let the fire python down. "I know that after you leave the divine ruin, you'll definitely come back. When you enter the 3rd level, you must find the fire dragon and help me get rid of it." The fire python said with a murderous aura. "At that time, if I can come out of the 3rd floor alive, I promise to bring its head to you." Qin Feiyang said. "Thank you." The fire python smiled gratefully. Qin Feiyang frowned and said, "But the problem now is that when we leave, the divine ruin will close. How will I come in?" "You don't have to worry about this. I already know how to come in." The fire python said. "Really?" Qin Feiyang was delighted. "Yes. When I first became a guardian, there were many things that I didn't understand. But after this period of research and listening to Lord Beast God's explanation, I basically know the divine ruin like the back of my hand. One of them is the way to enter the divine ruin. According to what I know, in a place called the Sea of Reincarnation, there is an altar that allows one to enter the divine ruins. And this altar doesn't need the 10 types of alchemy fire. It can be opened at any time." The fire python said. "The Reincarnation Sea?" Qin Feiyang was stunned and said in surprise, "Are you sure it's the reincarnation sea? You know about the reincarnation sea?" The fire python looked at Qin Feiyang in surprise. "If the reincarnation sea you're talking about is the same as the reincarnation sea I know, then this reincarnation sea is in my territory," Qin Feiyang said. The fire python said happily, "Then you must be very familiar with the reincarnation sea." "To tell you the truth, I've only been there once, and I didn't go deep." Qin Feiyang smiled bitterly. "In that case," the fire python pondered for a moment and shook its head, "then we can only wait for you to go out and slowly look for it. The reincarnation sea is boundless. If you don't have clear coordinates or some landmark, finding an altar is more difficult than ascending to the heavens." Qin Feiyang sighed. The fire python said, "I don't know the location of this altar, but I heard Lord Beast God say that it's somewhere in the deep sea." "Sea? Somewhere? It's like looking for a needle in a haystack." Qin Feiyang. The fire python said, "I also want to help you, but this is all I know. You can only rely on yourself to find the rest." "Okay." Qin Feiyang nodded. Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something and asked, "Have you been to the ancient realm? After I brought you to the second level, I made a trip to the ancient realm. According to my emperor, the reincarnation earthed it. Furthermore, I also discovered that the living creatures living in the ancient realm seem to have something similar to the demon imprint on their bodies." The fire python said. "Demon mark?" Qin Feiyang was shocked. "It's not the demon mark, it's just similar. And this kind of mark is not like the demon mark on the skin of the chest, but on the soul of the living." The fire python said. "Imprint on the soul." Qin Feiyang was shocked, and said, "Doesn't this mean that this mark can no longer be erased?" "I'm not sure about that. But the nature of this mark is extremely similar to the demon mark. With this mark, the living beings inside are unable to leave the ancient realm. If they forcefully leave, they will immediately suffer the backlash of the mark and be destroyed." The fire python said. "Immediately suffer the backlash? This is even more terrifying than the demon mark." Qin Feiyang was shocked. Although those who were entangled by the demon mark were unable to break free from the shackles of the Black Tortoise realm, they could still stay outside for 3 months. In other words, after 3 months, they would suffer the backlash of the demon mark. That's right. In this aspect, it's indeed more terrifying than the demon mark. Originally, I also wanted to understand more, but I was suddenly pulled out by Lord Beast God's great power." The fire python shook its head regretfully. "You were pulled out?" Qin Feiyang was surprised. "Yes. It gives me the feeling that Lord Beast God doesn't want me to interfere with the matters of the ancient realm," the fire python said with a trace of suspicion between its brows. Qin Feiyang said, "Then it seems that the ancient realm must be hiding some secrets." The fire python nodded. Qin Feiyang pondered for a while, and asked, "Brother Fire, can you send me to the ancient realm again? Go to the ancient realm now?" The fire python was stunned and asked suspiciously, "You're not going back?" Qin Feiyang said, "Of course I'm going back, but before I go back, I want to go to the ancient realm to get some soul stones." "Are you talking about this kind of crystal?" The fire python took out a gray crystal. Qin Feiyang's eyes lit up, and he nodded, "Yes, yes, yes, that's it. This thing has the ability to condense divine sense, and its effect is better than the spirit congealing pill." "I know that. But according to my observation, this kind of crystal is very rare even in the ancient realm," the fire python said. "I know. But now, my matter is basically settled, I can slowly look for it," Qin Feiyang said. "One soul stone could condense 100 strands of divine sense. In other words, as long as he gathered 1,000 soul stones, he could step into the war god realm in a very short time. At that time, he would have nothing to fear when fighting against the demon ancestor and Mu Tianyang." The fire python pondered for a moment, gritted its teeth, and nodded, "All right, I'll send you again, but you only have 3 days. How can 3 days be enough? Qin Feiyang frowned. Only 3 days. Before I came to find you, the beast god left the miracle and said that he would return in 3 days. So, you must find enough soul stones within these 3 days and leave the ancient realm. Otherwise, when it returns and finds out that you've entered the ancient realm again, it will definitely think that I'm secretly helping you again. At that time, the beast god will be angry, and I'm afraid that I won't be able to keep my position as the guardian. The fire python said. Qin Feiyang was surprised. The small beast left the miracle? Yes. The beast god doesn't always stay in the miracle. The fire python said. Then where did he go? Qin Feiyang asked curiously. How would I know? The fire python couldn't help but roll its eyes at Qin Feiyang. Qin Feiyang smiled embarrassedly and nodded. All right, 3 days it is. The fire python helped him so much. If he implicated the fire python, he would feel uneasy. The fire python said, then there's no time to lose, quickly go and make the arrangements. Qin Feiyang looked down at the mysterious madam, and then in a flash, he landed beside the golden divine leopard. Zhao Tailai asked curiously, young master, what were you talking about up there? Nothing. Qin Feiyang shook his head and turned to the mysterious madam and Yi Shu, smiling. I have something to do at the last minute, and I have to deal with it with the fire python. Why don't you go to the vacuum zone between the second and first level and wait for me? The mysterious madam asked with concern. What is it? Do you need help? It's nothing. Qin Feiyang smiled and turned his head to look at Tang Hai and Zhao Tailai. He warned them, you two follow great-grandmother. You must protect her well. Take Shui Song with you as well, just in case. Yes. The two replied respectfully. Qin Feiyang said again, Junior Leopard, you follow me. Roger. The golden divine leopard shouted. Be careful. Qin Feiyang reminded Tang Hai and Zhao Tailai again, and then led the golden divine leopard into the air. But suddenly, he stopped again. What's wrong? The golden divine leopard looked at him suspiciously. I seem to have forgotten something. Qin Feiyang muttered. What is it? The golden divine leopard was surprised. I can't remember at the moment. Qin Feiyang took a step forward. He lowered his head and pondered while walking towards the fire python. Suddenly, his gaze trembled. Yan Wei. That's right. It's Yan Wei. Ever since the battle broke out, he had not seen Yan Wei. He glanced around and then looked at Tang Hai and the other man. He whispered, have you seen Yan Wei? Yan Wei? The two were stunned. After thinking carefully for a moment, Zhao Tailai whispered, I think I saw him being sent into the space divine item by Zhuge Mingyang when the battle broke out. Yes. There's also Zhuge Mingyang's space divine item. Qin Feiyang's body trembled. Yan Wei and Zhuge Mingyang's space divine items were what he had overlooked. Qin Feiyang said in a deep voice, Junior Leopard, quickly search with your divine thoughts and see if Zhuge Mingyang's space divine item is still there. The golden divine leopard immediately released his divine thoughts. Yi Shu and the mysterious lady also released their divine thoughts and started a carpet search. No. A moment later, the golden divine leopard shook his head. Yi Shu said, could it be that Zhuge Mingyang's space divine item has been shattered together with Zhuge Mingyang? No. Zhuge Mingyang's space divine item can't even be shattered by the power of rules of the miracle, let alone Big Cousin. The space divine item must still be there. Qin Feiyang shook his head. Then why can't we find his space divine item? Everyone was suspicious. Qin Feiyang's brows were tightly knitted. First of all, he could be sure that Yan Wei's life was not in danger. Because Lu Jiajin's strength was unable to break through the defense of the space divine item. But the problem was, why did Zhuge Mingyang's space divine item disappear? Wait a minute. Suddenly, He thought of the space divine item that saved the state preceptor and Emperor Hong and kidnapped Zhao Tai. Could it be that that was Zhuge Mingyang's space divine item? But that wasn't right either. Zhuge Mingyang was dead, and no one could control that space divine item. Could it be, Zhuge Mingyang was actually not dead? Boom! Thinking of this, it was as if Qin Feiyang was suddenly enlightened and came to a realization. That's right. Zhuge Mingyang was definitely not dead. At that time, the person who saved the state preceptor and Emperor Hong and kidnapped Zhao Tai was definitely him. But Zhuge Mingyang's death was obvious to everyone. Now that they suddenly found out that he was not dead, it was really hard to accept. What the hell is going on? Brother Qin, are you still going or not? At this time, the fire python's urging voice sounded. Qin Feiyang came back to his senses, and nodded, I'm going. The fire python said, then hurry up, time is of the essence. Yes. Qin Feiyang nodded, and looked at Zhao Tai and the other three. Zhuge Mingyang is most likely not dead yet, you must be careful on your way back. What? Not dead? How is that possible? The four of them were tongue-tied. I also hope that he is dead, but some things are hard to predict. In short, you guys should be careful. Qin Feiyang warned, and then rushed to the front of the fire python with the golden leopard. The fire python immediately brought them away and disappeared without a trace. Genius remembered the address of this site in a second. Mobile version of reading website, M. Chapter 1763. Zhuge Mingyang isn't dead, that shouldn't be. He was burned to ashes by Lu Jiajin's fire phoenix power. We saw it with our own eyes. Yi Shu looked at the mysterious lady and Tang Hai and frowned. The mysterious lady also frowned. This matter was indeed unacceptable. However, this was said by Qin Feiyang, so it shouldn't be false. It seems that we have to be careful. The mysterious lady murmured, looked at Zhao Tai and Tang Hai, and said, you should know what Qin Feiyang and the fire python are doing. Zhao Tai and Tang Hai looked at each other and shook their heads. To be honest, we don't know what the young master is doing this time. Really? The mysterious lady looked doubtful. Absolutely. Zhao Tai smiled helplessly. The first floor of the divine site. In the sky above a desolate mountain range, Qin Feiyang, the fire python, and the golden divine leopard appeared out of thin air. The golden divine leopard glanced below and smiled. You came to the first floor just like that. It's great to follow the guardian. The fire python was taken aback and said in amusement, are you flattering this emperor? Yes, we'll be family in the future. Please take care of me, guardian. The golden divine leopard smiled flatteringly. The fire python's mouth twitched, and divine power surged out toward the mountain range below. Boom! The originally empty void suddenly trembled, and an ancient stone door appeared. The fire python looked at the stone door, then turned to Qin Feiyang and said in a deep voice, Brother Qin, remember, you only have 3 days. Also, the last time I went in, I found an old man lurking at the entrance of the ancient world. This person's purpose is unknown, and his cultivation is not ordinary. You have to be careful of him. The fire python warned again. Old man? Qin Feiyang was stunned and asked, what does he look like? White-haired, wearing black linen clothes, holding a walking stick in his hand, and his cultivation is higher than mine. He's a war god of small success. The fire python said. White-haired, linen clothes, walking stick, low success stage war god, Qin Feiyang murmured. Suddenly, he looked at the golden divine leopard and exclaimed, it can't be him, right? The golden divine leopard thought for a moment and said, according to the Lord Guardian's description, it should be him. Who? The fire python asked. Qin Feiyang smiled bitterly. It's a long story. I'll tell you about it when I have time. All right. The fire python nodded. Qin Feiyang jumped up and landed on the back of the golden leopard. Then, the golden leopard carried Qin Feiyang and entered the stone door without looking back. Very soon, a man and a beast appeared in the ancient realm once again. It was exactly the same as the last time he was here. The dilapidated square, the dilapidated stone gate, the ground riddled with holes, the murky sky, and the decaying aura that permeated the air made people feel extremely depressed. At the same time, several hundred li away, there was a low, bare hill. At the top of the mountain, a white-haired old man in black clothes was sitting cross-legged with his eyes closed. This aura, it seems to be Qin Feiyang. As soon as Qin Feiyang appeared, the old man's eyebrows immediately crept up with a hint of surprise. He then opened his eyes and looked towards the entrance. When he saw Qin Feiyang and the golden divine leopard standing in the square, the old man's eyes suddenly had a trace of joy. It was really him. The old man immediately got up and flew towards Qin Feiyang and the golden divine leopard. The golden divine leopard raised his eyebrows and said in a low voice, "Young master, there's a human aura approaching us." When Qin Feiyang heard this, he immediately became vigilant and scanned his surroundings. It's really him. When he saw the old man, Qin Feiyang shook his head helplessly and smiled. That's right. That old man was Guo Zixiong's second uncle, Guo De. What is he doing here? Is he waiting for us? But that's not right. He didn't know that we would come in now. How could he be waiting for us? The golden divine leopard was suspicious. Qin Feiyang said, perhaps he and Guo Zixiong guessed that we would come to the ancient world again sooner or later. That's why they have been waiting here. The golden divine leopard was stunned and laughed slyly. It seems like Guo Zixiong is quite concerned about your son-in-law. Don't talk nonsense. Qin Feiyang glared at it fiercely and snorted coldly. Concerned? I think he's a little too concerned. Too concerned? What do you mean? The golden divine leopard looked at Qin Feiyang in confusion. Even though the Guo family and our ancestor had a marriage agreement, so many years have passed. No matter how good their relationship was, it would have gradually faded. Furthermore, we don't know if our ancestor is dead or alive now. The Guo family is much more powerful than us. Do you think that they would still care about a marriage agreement? If you were in their shoes, would you care? Qin Feiyang said. The golden divine leopard was shocked. You mean that the Guo family shouldn't have any ulterior motives? I don't know if they have any ulterior motives. But I'm sure that it's not that simple. Qin Feiyang said. The golden divine leopard said, could it be that you're too suspicious and Guo Zixiong is actually a very loyal person? If that's the case, that's naturally for the best. But before we figure out Guo Zixiong's character, we can't let our guard down. Qin Feiyang said. That's true. The golden divine leopard nodded. Guo De was a lower success god of war. Guo Zixiong was a Deshang god of war. One could imagine how terrifying the Guo clan's strength was. If the Guo family really had ulterior motives and they were not careful, the consequences would be unimaginable. Swoosh. Guo De teleported over and landed in front of Qin Feiyang. He chuckled and said, I didn't expect that we would meet again so soon. Yes. Qin Feiyang nodded and smiled. He cupped his hands and said, Junior Qin Feiyang greets Elder Guo. Guo De chuckled and said, we'll be a family soon. There's no need to be so polite. A family, Qin Feiyang was speechless. They weren't even together yet. But on the surface, he smiled and asked, Elder Guo, where's Uncle Guo Zixiong? Guo De smiled and said, he's busy with the family affairs. When you left the ancient world, your Uncle Guo had already returned. But before he left, he told me to pick you up and escort you safely to the family. Escort me to the family, Qin Feiyang's eyes flickered. Guo De said, there's no time to lose. Let's go back now. This Qin Feiyang looked a little troubled. What's wrong? Guoda looked at him suspiciously. Qin Feiyang jumped down from the back of the golden leopard and said, Elder Gua, to be honest, I didn't come to the ancient world to visit the Gua family. Then why? Guoda was startled and asked in confusion. Soul stones. This junior has come here to look for soul stones. Qin Feiyang's eyes flickered slightly as he said calmly. Since the Gua family cared so much about him, why didn't he take the opportunity to ask for more soul stones? He believed that with the Gua family's strength, it wouldn't be difficult to find 1,000 soul stones. Similarly, he could also test the Gua family at the same time. Look for soul stones? Guoda was startled and said with a frown, Didn't I already give you a lot last time? Elder, you don't know, but the situation outside is very unfavorable for me. Strong enemies from all sides are ready to strike. I must reach the divine battle realm as soon as possible to survive this tribulation. Qin Feiyang sighed and said worriedly. I see. Guoda came to a sudden realization. He pondered for a moment and said, Although the soul stone can allow you to become a war god in a short period of time, I told you last time that the soul stone is extremely precious even in our Gu realm. I know. But now, this is the only way. Even if it's not easy to find, you have to try your best. Qin Feiyang said. Guoda frowned and lowered his head in silence. The golden leopard said, We've already said it so clearly, but he still doesn't understand what we mean. His eyesight is too bad. How can someone of his age and cultivation not understand what we mean? Maybe the Gua family doesn't have many soul stones left. Qin Feiyang thought. After a while, Guoda looked up at Qin Feiyang and asked, How many more soul stones do you need? 1,000. Qin Feiyang said. What? 1,000. Guoda was petrified. Looking at his reaction, 1,000 soul stones seems to be beyond the scope of what the Gua family can bear. The golden leopard said. Yes. Qin Feiyang nodded without leaving a trace. You're asking for too much. I'm afraid that even if you search a few million miles, you won't be able to gather that many. Guoda came back to his senses and shook his head. Really? The golden leopard asked. Really? Guoda nodded. Then what should we do? The golden leopard was like an ant on a hot pan, pacing around anxiously. Guoda's eyes flashed and said, I have a suggestion, but I don't know if you want to hear it. What suggestion? Qin Feiyang asked. Guoda said, From now on, you can stay in the ancient world and don't bother about the outside world. This, Qin Feiyang and the golden leopard looked at each other. Man walks to the top, water flows to the bottom. The resources and environment in the ancient world are better than outside. I can guarantee that you'll have a better future if you stay here. Guoda said. Environment? The golden divine leopard looked around and frowned. Let's not talk about the resources for now, but this environment seems to be much worse than the outside world. Qin Feiyang nodded. That's because you haven't understood the ancient world. What you see now is just the tip of the iceberg. Guoda smiled. What? Just the tip of the iceberg? Qin Feiyang and the golden leopard were in disbelief. Guoda looked at Qin Feiyang and said with a smile, Just do as I say. Stay in the ancient world, marry Xiaoqi, carry on the family line, and love each other for the rest of your life. How blissful, how perfect. Xiaoqi? Qin Feiyang was doubtful. Guoda said, Xiaoqi is my grandniece and also your fiancée. Her full name is Guasueki. She has been smart since she was young and her talent is far beyond ordinary people. She can be said to be a perfect match for you. Perfect match? Qin Feiyang's face twitched. He hadn't even met Guasueki yet, and he didn't even know what she looked like. It was too exaggerated to say that they were a perfect match. Please remember the domain name of this book. Literature Library mobile version website. Chapter 1764. Let's go. Guoda pulled Qin Feiyang and soared into the air. Old senior, wait a moment. Qin Feiyang hurriedly broke free. Guoda frowned and said, it's just some mundane matters. Why are you thinking so much? There was a hint of anger and impatience in the depths of his old eyes. Young master, what should we do now? This old man is clearly trying to force you to stay here. The golden divine leopard thought to himself. Don't worry, I have a way. Qin Feiyang sent a voice transmission and looked at Guoda with a sigh. I'm indeed very tempted by what you've said, old senior. Then what are you hesitating for? Guoda was puzzled. Let me finish first. I don't know whether my mother is dead or alive. My father's attitude towards me is also like that of a stranger. Furthermore, the Great Qin Empire is currently in an abyss of suffering. The Great Qin Empire is the empire left behind by my ancestor and is his life's work. As a descendant of the Qin clan and the only successor of my ancestor, how can I not care? Qin Feiyang said. This, Guoda raised his brows. Of course, I want to live a peaceful life. However, as a man, I have to shoulder these responsibilities. I'm sure you don't want Xiaoqi to marry a cowardly and incompetent person, right? Qin Feiyang said with a smile. Guoda remained silent and his eyes flickered. The golden divine leopard sent a voice transmission. What's the point of saying all this? Don't worry, I haven't used my ultimate move yet. Qin Feiyang chuckled in his heart. What ultimate move? The golden divine leopard was curious. You'll know soon. Qin Feiyang's eyes flashed as he looked at Guoda and said, furthermore, I've only been here for 3 days. 3 days? Guoda was stunned and asked suspiciously, what do you mean? When I entered the ancient world, I accidentally bumped into the guardian of the divine ruins. Junior has tried every possible way to persuade it. That's the answer. Give Junior 3 days. If we don't return within 3 days, it will personally enter the ancient realm and obliterate us. Qin Feiyang said. As expected, it's an ultimate move. The golden leopard laughed sinisterly. Guardian of the miracle, Guoda frowned. Something's not right. Suddenly, Guoda's eyes flashed as he looked at Qin Feiyang and said, little guy, you're lying. How could this be? Qin Feiyang said hurriedly. However, he was extremely shocked. How did this old man know that he was lying? This old man remembers that the ancient world is on the first level of the divine sight. On the other hand, there's a restriction on the first level of the divine ruins. Those above the semi-divinity realm aren't allowed to enter. You and this leopard, one is a false god, and the other is an early-stage war god. But you were able to enter the first level and find the entrance to the ancient realm. There is only one explanation for this. The guardians of the divine remnants helped you enter the ancient realm. Guoda said. The golden leopard secretly said, damn, he actually knows so much about the divine remnants. What's the use of knowing? We'll deal with whatever comes our way. Don't panic. Qin Feiyang sneered inwardly as he looked at Guoda. Old senior's words are correct. However, Junior was fortunate enough to obtain a small world called the Black Tortoise World on the first floor. This small world is capable of blocking the power of the miracles. Black Tortoise Realm. Guoda's eyes trembled. Qin Feiyang's pupils constricted as he asked, Old Senior also knows about the Black Tortoise Realm? I've heard of it. Guoda lowered his head, a ray of light flashing in the depths of his eyes. After a long time, he raised his head to look at Qin Feiyang and asked, is the Black Tortoise Realm really on you? Qin Feiyang nodded. Guoda said, can you bring this old man to take a look? Qin Feiyang was a little hesitant. Guoda said unhappily, we're about to become a family, are you still worried about this old man? There's no such thing. Qin Feiyang hurriedly waved his hand and smiled, if old senior wants to go, then go, it's nothing. Finished. Qin Feiyang waved his hand and brought Guoda and the golden leopard to the sky above the undead mountain range. Guoda immediately looked around, his eyes filled with surprise. Then he released his spirit sense again, covering the sky and earth in all directions. Everything entered his eyes. He was extremely shocked. It was actually so big. And there were so many living beings. After a long time, Guoda retracted his spirit sense and looked at Qin Feiyang. Is this really an independent small world? Qin Feiyang waved his hand, and the rule force appeared out of thin air, surging from all directions. Feeling the terrifying pressure brought about by the rule force, Guoda clenched his fists, and greed filled the depths of his eyes. But soon, that greed faded away. Guoda nodded his head and laughed. Not bad, not bad, this is indeed an independent small world. Qin Feiyang laughed, and then brought Guoda and the golden leopard away from the black tortoise realm. He cupped his hands and said, Senior, time is of the essence, I won't chat with you any longer. With that, he jumped onto the back of the golden leopard and said, Hurry up and find the soul stone. All right. The golden leopard shouted, and then brought Qin Feiyang with it as fast as lightning. Guoda turned around and looked at the backs of Qin Feiyang and the golden leopard, and laughed sinisterly. I really didn't expect that this kid would actually obtain an independent small world. The heavens are truly helping my Guo family. Then he soared into the sky, and while chasing after Qin Feiyang, he shouted, Feiyang, wait a moment. Qin Feiyang was startled. He stopped the golden leopard and turned to look at Guoda suspiciously. Guoda flew in front of Qin Feiyang and shook his head. Feiyang, don't blame this old man for pouring cold water on you. Not to mention 3 days, even if it's 3 years, 30 years, you won't be able to find 1,000 soul stones. Then what should we do? Qin Feiyang asked in a panic. Don't worry. There must be a way. How about this, you go back with this old man now and discuss it with your Uncle Guo. Guoda said. The golden leopard sent a sound transmission. Young master, if we go with him, I'm afraid we won't be able to leave. Qin Feiyang thought, I have the same feeling. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's just make a trip there. If they really have evil intentions, once we get enough soul stones, we'll enter the black tortoise realm and leave immediately. The golden leopard sent a sound transmission. All right. Qin Feiyang gritted his teeth, and was about to speak. Boom. However, at this moment, a terrifying aura suddenly appeared at the stone door. Qin Feiyang, the golden leopard. Guoda was shocked and quickly looked up, only to see a half-meter-long snake appear in front of the stone door. That's it? Guoda was stunned. Qin Feiyang and the golden leopard looked at each other, but there was a trace of suspicion in their eyes. This small snake was none other than the fire python. What was the fire python doing here? Whoosh! Qin Feiyang quickly flew over and said respectfully, Greetings, Lord Guardian. Lord Guardian? Guoda was stunned and turned to the golden leopard, asking, It's the guardian of the divine ruins? Yes. The golden leopard nodded and said, You've seen it before? Yes. Last time, after you left, it came here. At that time, this old man was still puzzled. Why would a fire python enter the ancient world, and a war god at that? So it's the guardian. Guoda whispered. At the same time, the fire python also looked at Qin Feiyang suspiciously. Lord Guardian? Qin Feiyang didn't usually call it that. It glanced at the golden leopard, and when it saw Guoda, it immediately understood. Qin Feiyang had run into trouble and was secretly asking for help from it. The fire python's eyes flashed, and it looked at Qin Feiyang and said, Come with me immediately. Lord, didn't you say you would give me 3 days? Why do we have to go out now? Qin Feiyang said anxiously. The fire python said angrily, Do what I tell you to do. Why are you asking so many questions? This, Qin Feiyang frowned. What should we do now? The golden divine leopard was also at a loss of what to do. What else can we do? Although this guardian's strength is not much, we can't afford to offend him. You can only go with him. Guoda said angrily. The golden leopard said anxiously, but we haven't found the soul stone yet. Our enemy this time is very powerful. If the young master can't break through to the war god realm, he will definitely die. Die, Guoda murmured. No. I must not let Qin Feiyang die outside. Don't worry, this old man will think of a way. Guoda pondered for a moment, flew to Qin Feiyang's side, and cupped his hands to the fire python. Guoda greets Lord. What's the matter? The fire python looked at him coldly. Guoda begged, Lord, can you give us some time? For what? The fire python raised its eyebrows. I have something to give to Qin Feiyang, but I don't have it with me now, so I have to go back and get it. But don't worry, Lord, it won't take too long, at most a day and a half. Guoda said. This, the fire python pretended to think, but secretly, it was asking Qin Feiyang. Let him go. Qin Feiyang thought to himself. The fire python said impatiently, all right, go quickly and come back quickly. Thank you, Lord. Guoda cupped his hands and thanked him, then looked at Qin Feiyang and said, you must wait for this old man here. Okay. Qin Feiyang replied secretly. Whoosh. Then, Guoda teleported and flew away like lightning. Hee hee. After Guoda disappeared, the golden leopard smiled and landed beside Qin Feiyang and the fire python, saying, this old man must have gone back to get the soul stone. Qin Feiyang was also full of smiles. He gratefully looked at the fire python and said, Brother Hua, you're truly a timely rain. You've helped me once again. Yes. Although we are not afraid of them, if we really go to the Guo family with him, we will definitely be in some trouble. The golden leopard said. I was worried that something would happen to you here, so I specially came to take a look. I didn't expect to run into them by accident. But, what is going on? The fire python looked at them suspiciously. Qin Feiyang swept his gaze around. Since he had time right now, he began to explain the situation and the matter of the marriage contract in detail. Qin Badian has been here? The fire python was surprised to hear that. Qin Feiyang nodded. Marriage contract, Qin Badian. The fire python pondered for a while and said, the Guo family sent someone to wait for you here, and they were too enthusiastic, so you suspect that the Guo family might have some ulterior motives towards you? That's right. Qin Feiyang said. Based on what you said, it is indeed a little unusual. It is not wrong to be careful. The fire python smiled. Yes. You may know a person for a long time without understanding their true nature. Who knows what they are thinking? But this time, it is all thanks to Brother Fire that we were able to get a large number of soul stones without any effort. I am really grateful. Qin Feiyang said with a smile. You don't have to be so polite with me. The fire python shook its head and said, by the way, there is another situation that I forgot to tell you before. Please remember the domain name of this book. The mobile version of the literature website. Chapter 1765. Qin Feiyang was stunned. He looked at the fire python in confusion and asked, what's going on? The fire python said, it's about the altar in the reincarnation ocean. Qin Feiyang immediately became serious when he heard that it was about the altar. Although the altar can be activated anytime and anywhere without the 10 clusters of alchemy fire, it's not that easy to activate it. We need 10 war gods who are at least at the beginner stage to work together to barely revive the altar. The fire python said. What? Qin Feiyang was dumbfounded. The golden leopard was also so shocked that it couldn't close its mouth. It needed 10 gods of war. And it had to be activated in front of them. That was too exaggerated. The fire python smiled and said, after all, it's the passage to the divine sight. How can it be activated so easily? That's true. Qin Feiyang nodded. If anyone could activate the altar, wouldn't everyone be able to enter the divine site? The fire python added, in addition, I have to remind you that you can't tell anyone about the altar except for the people you trust the most. Don't worry, I know even without you. Qin Feiyang said. Time passed bit by bit. Unknowingly, the sky darkened. The entire land gradually fell into deep darkness. Whoosh! Finally. Accompanied by the sound of something breaking through the air, Guoda streaked across the night sky and landed in front of Qin Feiyang. He took out a cosmos bag and handed it to Qin Feiyang. Protect yourself. Don't forget that Xiaoqi is still waiting for you here. Thank you, Senior. After dealing with the matters outside, if I'm still alive, I'll definitely come back to give Uncle Gua and Xiaoqi an explanation. Qin Feiyang said. I'm relieved to hear that. Guoda nodded and smiled. Then I'll take my leave. Qin Feiyang cupped his fists and said. Go. Guoda waved and smiled. Qin Feiyang turned to the fire python and said respectfully, Lord Guardian, let's go. Whoosh. Immediately. The fire python, Qin Feiyang, and the golden divine leopard entered the stone door one after another and quickly disappeared from Guoda's sight. After they left, Guoda's eyes suddenly turned cold. Whoosh. In the meantime, a figure broke through the air and landed beside Guoda. Looking at the stone door, a cold light flashed in his eyes. This person was none other than Guo Zixiong. Guoda said angrily, it's all because of this damned guardian. Of all times, he appeared at the most crucial moment. Otherwise, Qin Feiyang would already be in our clan. What's the use of being angry? It is the guardian of the divine trace. Although it cannot control our ancient realm, the great figures behind it are not people we can offend. Guo Zixiong said with a rather grim expression. Then tell me, is it worth it? Last time, we gave him over 500 soul stones. Now, we're giving him another 1,000. We've given him almost all of our savings over the years. Guoda said. It's worth it. As long as he comes to the ancient world again, as long as he marries Xiaoqi, everything will be worth it. Moreover, he has an independent small world. The value of this small world is not something the soul stones can compare to. Guo Zixiong smiled sinisterly. Guoda said, that's what I'm worried about. What if he doesn't come to the ancient world in the future? With Qin Badian as a clue, do you think he won't come? Guo Zixiong smiled coldly and said, Second uncle, you're already so old. Why don't you come back with me and send someone else to continue guarding here? No need. Moreover, I'm worried about the others. Guoda said. All right then. Thank you for your hard work. Guo Zixiong smiled and turned to leave. Guoda looked at Guo Zixiong's back and said, Zixiong, the soul stones are the lifeline of the Guo clan. Whether it's robbing or buying, we have to get some as soon as possible. Who would be willing to sell something as precious as a soul stone? We can only rob. Guo Zixiong's eyes flashed and he left without looking back. The first floor of the divine site. The golden divine leopard looked at Qin Feiyang anxiously and said, Young master, look, is it a soul stone? Is there a need to think? It must be. Qin Feiyang opened his Qinkuan bag and took out a soul stone. He played with it in his hand with a smile on his face. When the fire python saw the soul stone, its eyes also lit up and asked, How many are there? Let me count. Qin Feiyang counted. A moment later. The smile on his face became brighter and brighter, and he said, There are a total of 1,100. So many? They even gave me an extra 100. They're really generous. The golden divine leopard was dumbfounded. Qin Feiyang smiled and said, It can be seen that they value me very much, but it's not the other way around. Could it be that you're really thinking too much? The golden divine leopard frowned. I hope so. Qin Feiyang sighed and took out the extra 100 soul stones. He handed them to the fire python and said with a smile, "Brother Hua, you've helped me so much. I should have given you more, but," the fire python smiled and said, all right, why are you saying this when we're brothers? Besides, I know about your situation, so there's no need to explain." After saying that, the fire python did not stand on ceremony and kept the 100 soul stones. Not only could the false god refine the soul stone, the war god could also refine it. For the fire python, it was also quite tempting. Qin Feiyang smiled. The words brother had an extraordinary meaning. Because this meant that the fire python's attitude towards him had already exceeded the boundary of a friend. The fire python asked, "What about now?" Qin Feiyang pondered for a moment and said, "I'm still a little worried about Tang Hai and the others." The fire python immediately closed its eyes and searched for the location of Tang Hai and the others. Swish. After a while, the fire python opened its eyes and an invisible force emerged. The next moment, the fire python took Qin Feiyang and the golden leopard and appeared in the sky above a mountain range on the second floor. Below, the mysterious lady, Yi Shu, Tang Hai, and Zhao Tai were hurrying on their way. "We're back," the golden leopard shouted, and the four immediately stopped and looked up at Qin Feiyang. "So fast?" Zhao Tai was stunned. The fire python looked at the four of them and said to Qin Feiyang, "Brother Qin, I've told you everything. Let's part ways here. Brother Hua, take care." Qin Feiyang cupped his hands and said, "Take care." After saying that, the fire python flickered and disappeared without a trace. Qin Feiyang looked at the place where the fire python disappeared and couldn't calm down for a long time. "You can't bear to part with it, right?" The golden leopard smiled. "Yes. At first, I thought that we would become mortal enemies, but I didn't expect that we would become like brothers now." Qin Feiyang sighed. "Actually, us ferocious beasts are more reasonable than you humans. We are more sensible and value friendship. Cruel by nature, cold-blooded and heartless, these are all misconceptions you humans have about us." The golden leopard pursed his lips and added, "Of course, we can't rule out that some beasts are really cold-blooded and cruel. There are also good and bad people among humans. It's all the same." Qin Feiyang smiled and took a step forward, landing beside Tang Hai and the other three. Zhao Tai asked curiously, "Young master, where did you go?" Qin Feiyang took out a soul stone and said with a smile, "Do you understand now?" Seeing the soul stone, Zhao Tai and Tang Hai suddenly understood. However, the mysterious lady Ni Shu looked at the soul stone in Qin Feiyang's hand suspiciously. Zhao Tai said, "How was the harvest?" The golden leopard chuckled and said, "Is there a need to ask? You'll know when you see the smile on his face." Zhao Tai glanced at Qin Feiyang's expression and asked sneakily, "Young master, do Tang Hai and I have a share?" Qin Feiyang was stunned. He looked at Zhao Tai strangely and said, "Old Zhao, you've changed." "I've changed?" Zhao Tai was stunned and asked suspiciously, "How have I changed?" "You become like the white-eyed wolf and fatso. Your eyes light up when you see a treasure," Qin Feiyang said. Zhao Tai smiled awkwardly and said, "You can't blame me. Who doesn't want a treasure like a soul stone? It's useless even if you want it. Because the soul stones here are just enough for me. I gave Brother Hua 100. Why don't you go and get them back?" Qin Feiyang joked. This, Zhao Tai's body stiffened and his face turned green. No matter how bold he was, he wouldn't dare to ask the fire python for soul stones. Hearing the conversation between Qin Feiyang and Zhao Tai, the mysterious lady couldn't help but ask curiously, "Kid, what's a soul stone? What's it used for?" "This, great-grandmother, it's better if you don't know," Qin Feiyang said. "Why?" The mysterious lady was suspicious. "I'm afraid you'll bite off more than you can chew. Because there are some things you can't touch." Qin Feiyang laughed mischievously. You're afraid I'll bite off more than I can chew? The mysterious lady was stunned. The veins on her forehead bulged and she said angrily, Brat, you haven't even broken through to the war god realm and you still have the nerve to say that to me? You're getting more and more presumptuous. I'll beat you up today. Come on, come on. Qin Feiyang made a face at the mysterious madam and immediately used the walk character formula to escape into the sky. Brat, you're pissing me off. Stop right there. The mysterious madam was so angry that she glared at him. She even used teleportation. Seeing this, Yi Shu and Zhao Tailai both smiled faintly. The golden leopard shook his head and said, I didn't realize that the young master has such a naive and cute side. Yi Shu smiled and said, he's still a child after all. Yeah. When I was his age, I was still eating, drinking, and playing. I even acted like a spoiled child in my parents' arms. Zhao Tailai shook his head. Tang Hai said, the ancients said that when the heavens are about to give a man a great responsibility, it will first torment his mind, tire his muscles and bones, starve his body, and empty his body. Stop, stop, stop. Zhao Tailai hurriedly waved his hand and said angrily, can you stop talking about all these great principles? It's as if you're the only one who knows. Tang Hai looked at him coldly and said, the young master is definitely not an ordinary person. Do you think we're blind? Do we need you to tell us that? Zhao Tailai rolled his eyes. Don't you know that it's rude to interrupt others? You've been living like a dog for so many years, Tang Hai said coldly. Tang Hai said coldly. Then, he used teleportation and chased after Qin Feiyang and his companion. What did you say? Tang Hai, I dare you to say it again. Zhao Tailai roared and chased after him aggressively. Yi Shu looked at the two in a daze and muttered, Junior Leopard, are these people all so interesting? You call this interesting? It's obviously childish. You can actually interpret childish behavior as interesting. Looks like your IQ isn't that high. The golden leopard looked at Yi Shu with disdain, then shook his head and left. My IQ isn't high? Yi Shu was stunned. Then, he fumed with rage and chased after the golden leopard. Please remember the domain name of this book. Literature Museum mobile version website. Chapter 1766. The full moon hung in the sky and the night was hazy. The earth seemed to be covered with a layer of silver. And in a certain valley, a mysterious force suddenly emerged. This force was invisible and colorless like a ghost. It quietly drilled into the bodies of the nearby beasts and plundered their chi and blood. The strangest thing was, these beasts didn't even notice that their chi and blood were being plundered. But not long after, as the beasts continued to fall and turned into dried corpses, it immediately caused an unprecedented panic. Countless beasts fled for their lives. The beast emperors in the nearby major regions heard the news and rushed over to check it out. But in the end, the beast emperors also fled in embarrassment. According to them, they couldn't get close to the valley at all. Because the closer they got to the valley, the more terrifying the mysterious force was, and it was pervasive. Even the war god couldn't stop it. As time passed bit by bit, the area covered by the mysterious force was getting larger and larger. At first, it was only near the valley. But now, it had covered tens of thousands of miles and was still expanding. No one knew when it would end. In short, the beasts in this area were all fleeing for their lives. In the blink of an eye, the sky gradually turned white. The sun slowly rose. Qin Feiyang and the others were fooling around, talking and laughing as they entered the sky above a vast lake. Roar! Suddenly, in the distant void, there was a deafening roar of beasts. Rumble. Following closely. Both the earth and the void began to tremble at this moment, as if an unprecedented earthquake was approaching. What's going on? The group looked in the direction of the sound, their faces full of surprise. Rumble. The sound became more and more deafening. Soon, an extremely spectacular scene appeared in front of their eyes. The sky and the earth were all filled with beasts. There were war sage and war emperor level beasts. There were pseudo-god level beasts. There were even war god level beast emperors. Some were as big as mountains and some were as small as rocks. They were densely packed and boundless as they crazily surged towards this side. Their expressions were suffused with an unresolvable fear. Why is there a beast tide? Qin Feiyang and the others were surprised. Groups of beasts rushed over. Qin Feiyang and the others and the golden divine leopard kept dodging. Suddenly, Qin Feiyang saw a beast emperor among the beasts. It was a black eagle. Its body was as huge as a mountain, and it had the cultivation of the small completion stage. Don't block this emperor's path, scram. As it flew, it roared at the group of beasts in front of it. Whoosh! Qin Feiyang took a step forward and stood in front of the black eagle. You're courting death. Seeing that a human had suddenly run out to block its path, the black eagle immediately became ferocious. But when it saw Qin Feiyang's face, its pupils suddenly shrank. It quickly restrained its ferocious aura and said with a smile, "So it's brother Qin. Please forgive me for offending you." "I'm fine." Qin Feiyang waved his hand and asked suspiciously, "Brother, what are you doing?" "Alas. You don't know. Just last night, a strange power suddenly emerged from a valley. As soon as this force appeared, it frantically plundered everyone's qi and blood. Furthermore, even this emperor was unable to stop the corrosion of that power. That was why we had no choice but to flee." Black Eagle sighed. Such a thing happened? Hearing this, the mysterious lady and Yishu's faces were full of shock. At the same time, Qin Feiyang, Zhao Tailai, Tang Hai, and the golden leopard looked at each other. A cold light flashed in their eyes at the same time. Strange power, it could plunder qi and blood, it was all-pervasive. Wasn't this the scene when Zhuge Mingyang was reincarnated? Qin Feiyang looked at the black eagle and asked, "Where's the valley?" "Follow the direction we escaped from and search for it. It'll take about half a day." "That's not right. You're still only a pseudo-god. It'll probably take 2 or 3 days to arrive," the black eagle said. The mysterious lady asked, "Feiyang, do you know something?" "Yes." Qin Feiyang nodded and looked at the black eagle. "Brother, can you help us and bring us there?" The black eagle's eyes widened as it said angrily, "Aren't you sending this emperor to his death?" Qin Feiyang said, "Don't worry, I won't let anything happen to you." The black eagle was hesitant. Qin Feiyang said, "Trust me." The black eagle raised its eyebrows, gritted its teeth, and shouted, "Come on this emperor's back." "Thank you, brother." Qin Feiyang cupped his hands and thanked him. Then, he jumped up and landed on the black eagle's back. The mysterious lady, Yishu, Tang Hai, Zhao Tailai, and the golden leopard also jumped onto the black eagle's back. Chirp. Following closely. The black eagle let out a high-pitched cry, spread its wings, and flew away like lightning. Wherever it went, the beasts would make way. "Old Black, where are you going?" Soon, a few more beast emperors came over and looked at the black eagle suspiciously. The black eagle said, "Qin Feiyang wants to go to the valley to take a look. I'll send them there." "Qin Feiyang?" The beast emperors were stunned and looked at the black eagle's back. When they saw Qin Feiyang, they immediately greeted him enthusiastically, "Hello, brother Qin." "Hello, brothers." Qin Feiyang smiled. "Brother Qin, that mysterious force is not a child's play. We advise you not to go." "That's right. Look, even we are running for our lives, let alone you." "Brother Qin, please don't misunderstand. We don't mean to look down on you." The beast emperors were chattering. Qin Feiyang smiled and said, "I know. Brothers, you are all concerned about me, That's good. The beast emperors heaved a sigh of relief. The black eagle glanced at the beast emperors, rolled his eyes, and suddenly said, "Why don't you come with us?" "No, no. Brother Qin, we'll part ways here. Take care." When the beast emperors heard the black eagle's words, they did not continue to persuade Qin Feiyang and immediately turned to leave. What a bunch of cowards. The black eagle despised them and continued to fly forward with Qin Feiyang and the others. The mysterious lady frowned and said, "Feiyang, what's going on?" "Zhuge Mingyang." Qin Feiyang said word by word. "Zhuge Mingyang? He's really not dead?" The mysterious lady and Yi Shu looked at each other, their eyes full of surprise. Zhao Tailai said, "Young master, something's wrong." "What's wrong?" Qin Feiyang asked. "Zhuge Mingyang said before that he can only be reborn if he dies in your hands. But this time, he died in the hands of your big cousin." Zhao Tailai said. Qin Feiyang said in a deep voice, "This is also what I can't figure out. Could he be lying to us? In fact, no matter who kills him, he can be resurrected?" Tang Hai suddenly said. Qin Feiyang said, "At present, this is the only reasonable explanation. There's one more thing. Based on the previous situations, he should be resurrected at the place where he died. This time, Lu Jiajin killed him in the place where Mu Tianjun and the fiend ancestor were sealed. But now, he is resurrected in another place. Although we haven't reached the valley yet, from the direction, we know that the two places are thousands of miles apart. What's going on?" Zhao Tailai said. Qin Feiyang lowered his head and pondered. Suddenly, his eyes lit up. Zhao Tailai asked, "Did you think of something?" Qin Feiyang said, "The fiend ancestor's consciousness." "The fiend ancestor's consciousness?" Zhao Tailai was suspicious. "Yes. I originally thought that the fiend ancestor's consciousness had been obliterated by my big cousin. But now, it seems that may not be the case." Qin Feiyang said. "Then what is it?" Zhao Tailai said. "I think it should be the fiend ancestor's consciousness. Before Zhuge Mingyang died, he took away something that could allow Zhuge Mingyang to be reborn. And at that time, the person who drove the space divine object to save the state preceptor and Emperor Hong, as well as the person who kidnapped you, should be the fiend ancestor." Qin Feiyang looked at Zhao Tailai and said. Hearing this, Zhao Tailai pondered for a moment and nodded. It seems that this is the only explanation that makes sense. Why are the young people nowadays so difficult to deal with? Young master is like this, and so is Zhuge Mingyang. Are they all the reincarnations of cockroaches? Tang Hai said. Do you know how to speak human language? Qin Feiyang's face darkened. Just mention Zhuge Mingyang, why did he have to bring him into this? Reincarnation of cockroaches? Didn't he know that this was an insult? It's the truth. Tang Hai said indifferently. I'll endure it. Qin Feiyang glared fiercely at Tang Hai and took a deep breath. Time passed in the blink of an eye. A few hours later, Qin Feiyang suddenly noticed that the vitality in his body was also flowing away. Noticing this, Qin Feiyang's heart sank. He said, Quick, check your qi and blood. Is it leaking? The few of them and the golden leopard immediately closed their eyes to check the situation in their bodies. It's flowing away. Zhao Tailai was the first to open his eyes and looked at Qin Feiyang. Me too. Me too. The mysterious lady, Yi Shu, the golden leopard, and Tang Hai also opened their eyes and looked at Qin Feiyang. Black Hawk said, Brother Qin, do you have a way to stop the erosion of this power? No. Qin Feiyang shook his head. No. Black Hawk's gaze trembled as he said anxiously, Then if this continues, won't we all be finished? Actually, there is a way. Enter the castle or the Black Tortoise world. But, if we enter the castle or the Black Tortoise world, our speed will slow down. By the time we reach the valley, Zhuge Mingyang might have already been reborn. Qin Feiyang said. Because after entering the castle and the Black Tortoise world, he was the one who led everyone. With his current cultivation, his speed was far inferior to Black Hawk's. Then give us the castle. Although our cultivation is not as good as Black Hawk's, we are all stronger than you. The speed of driving the castle will also be faster than you. Zhao Tailai said. No. The castle is now sealed. We can only enter and leave. We can't give it to others. Qin Feiyang shook his head. Then what should we do? Back then, Zhuge Mingyang said that if he was reborn again, he would be able to step into the war god realm. So we must find a way to completely kill him before he is reborn. Zhao Tailai said. Qin Feiyang's eyes flickered. Suddenly, he looked at Zhao Tailai, Tang Hai, the mysterious lady, and Yi Shu and said respectfully, "Everyone, please lend me a hand." What do you mean? The four of them were puzzled. If you want to help, then help. It's not like you're an outsider. Why are you being so polite? Please remember the domain name of this book. Literature Museum mobile version website. You're tuning into the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.